Allow the children to handle the budget.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
Off your mind.
Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira, still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. It is the noon time with Maiyegun. And if you by any chance stumble on this, please share the broadcast, okay? It is also an open mic where you too can be part of this. You know, the number is right there on the screen. You can join me and contribute like everyone else. Over 200 people were kidnapped from an IDP camp in Borno State yesterday. And not even a single word from the government of Nigeria. And you still think you have a country.
I'm here tonight. Glory Facebook. I'm here tonight.
It is morning in so many places and already noon in other places. Whatever the time is at yours, top of the day to you. You can join us. There is no rage, there is no flag, there is no march, there is no protest. 200 victims of terrorism in Nigeria were kidnapped in the place provided for them by the government, I believe. Internally displaced persons camp, refugee camp, and there is no rage anywhere. And just same way, last night, Fubara. Yes, Maiyegun today. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Maiyegun live. And if you have taken your time to read the caption of the broadcast, the description as well, they can give you the idea of what this conversation is all about. And if it is breakfast time at yours, just share the broadcast and you can listen to this in the background. However, the news of over 200 people kidnapped in Nigeria, Borno State. There's also another set of, Nigerians who have come under attacks that has now been classed as like secret coded ethnic cleansing going on in Taraba. In all of this, some of you are probably going to be hearing this for the first time. And because Nigeria has become a place where you see things like this, they happen so often that it has become a crime to even report them or talk about them. In fact, they want people to, pretend that they are not happening. People have grown so cold that when they hear the news like, oh, terrorists killed 150 people, people just read them like reading, oh, Liverpool beat Arsenal. Oh, Arsenal beat Manchester. More or less like just some passive news that, because people have been so belabored with so much economic hardship that those who are still alive, they are barely living. And therefore, people who live like, they live from hand to mouth and they live for the day. They have become so cold to news like this. The government of Nigeria have become so like disinterested. If you become a victim, you know what I mean? If I become a victim of the Fulani terrorism in any part, I should not see myself as the first victim. So I should see myself as probably one of those. And for those who are still here, they should see themselves as lucky enough that if they live long enough, maybe they'll be able to experience peace that will never happen. Over 200 people kidnapped, over 8 people killed in Taraba, and a few other places that these terrorists have actually like carried out their operation in the last few days alone, and there is no single rage anywhere. Just one sec, sorry. I quickly want to get arguments. Thank you. There is no rage anywhere. And I'm like, some people will tell you that there is hope for Nigeria. And when people like us continue to remind you that apart from the fact that they are they are asking us to wait like the cows, waiting to be slaughtered. Except for the fact they're asking us to wait. The other thing they are offering is the quick death, a possible economic hardship that will snuff life out of you, even without any terrorist shooting you in the head. So to live in Nigeria should be considered as one of the 100 ways to die. You see, the victims of IDP camps, you can call them refugees. Refugees are those who are running away from their homes because of insecurity or threats to their lives. These are survivors of the same Boko Haram who ended up in refugee camps, even though they will tell you, again and again, that Nigeria is not at war. But Nigeria is a place where the number of people killed by terrorists alone a day cannot be compared to even countries that are physically at war. Nigeria government did not make those terrorists as they don't really see them as terrorists. In some parts, their sponsor are also the same people in government. In fact, I saw a picture as well, by the way. I actually saw a picture of a young man that was also macheted, bloodied to death in Oyo. And what struck my mind was like, wait, if part of the reasons why so many of you opposed to the idea of sovereign Yoruba nation that can be able to protect and defend our own territorial integrity. If one of your reasons for that was that you were believing that a Yoruba man would never allow this act of terrorism to even take place or last a day, a Yoruba man will never watch Yorubas being slaughtered by Fulani terrorists, right? Now you are witnessing it. You are saying it. Now a lot of you can now see clearly that opposing the idea of an independent Yoruba nation out of a contraption that has managed to keep all of us helpless, disarmed, and the terrorists harmed to the teeth. So the idea, those of you who oppose the idea for your selfish political gain or whatever that is, do you now see that it takes less than a year for that your theory of opposing what could have at least be the pathway not only to a safe, secure Yoruba land, including the prosperity, the progress of the nation? Now here we are, people who were running away from terrorists, abandoned by the Nigeria government, the system, and yet the terrorists still found them worthy to be kidnapped. And here we are, not a single statement or reaction from your government in Nigeria, right? So then we got that of the Taraba. In Taraba, I'm going to go take a look at the specific name of the local government, right? In that of Borno, according to the report, by the way, right? This this took place in Ngala, local government area of Borno State. Then when you now go to Taraba, just the same day, in Taraba, well, 24 hours before that in Taraba. The operation that lasted for hours and there was no single response. This also took place in an area called the Kpambo Puri in Ussa local government area of Taraba State. People are being slaughtered daily. And it is pretty much like it's nothing, you know? Like, if you say people are being kidnapped, they will say, well, is it now that people are just being kidnapped? When you say people are being killed, they will say, is it, is it Ifnumbu or is it Boko Haram that is that's supposed to go and carry gun and defend the people that are being killed? Some of you will even say it like so freely that people should stop complaining. They should start defending themselves. You see, when people say this, I kind of believe that they are either not in the real know of, the real situation on ground and all the forces, right, that make it more easier for the terrorists, not only to move around, okay, but to carry out their operations most of the time with no resistance. Is either you are not there physically like myself, or that you are not there, you are also pretty much not paying attention to the details of information coming out of that place, or you are just ignorant completely. So I'll give you an idea. In Nigeria, the terrorism in Nigeria is not coincidence, it's not by accident, it's nothing. It is the accumulation, being accumulative of all other, problems, kind of. Sure, you get. Let's start from the genesis, which is the country built on lies. And to sustain these lies, you have to ensure that there is a sustainable systemic corruption. Now, when you have sustainable systemic corruption, somehow it is also, when corrupt people are really in charge for that long with the access to power and resources, so they're able to sort of drive the narrative of what they would consider as just and not just. So in this regard, corruption breeds poverty. Poverty breeds crimes. And because Nigeria has become a basket case of the poverty capital of the world, okay? So it is now easier for every kind of criminality to exist because there will be ready-made, available recruits for any kind of crime. So in this instance, an ideology, crooked, corrupt ideology could then be passed on and an army could be assembled. So when you now have an army assembled for an idea in a system that is deliberate, okay? So corruption that breeded poverty that has now created an army of poor people that are ready to serve any corrupt ideology. Remember, the genesis is from the system. Therefore, to protect those army of such ideology, the system must also protect them, must be there. They must keep that power. And that's what Nigeria has become. They created poverty. Up north, their own level of poverty, religious control, and the rest of that has managed to become this global terror cell in Africa. So northern Nigeria became the breeding ground. Why? Because the poverty that existed in northern part of Nigeria, which was man-made, deliberate, has managed to help those oligarchs and their criminal crew, right? To sustain their corrupt ideology and recruit army of poorly educated, poor background, and so many others, vulnerable people, population they created, that now form that army that has now become the jihad that has now become the terror group that has been terrorizing Nigeria for the past 60 years. Last 10 years has been the horrible one. You see now? So the terrorists in Nigeria are the creation of the system. They are sponsor. They are the members of the system. So when the system wants them to push the ideology and then all these killings you are witnessing, right? The same system put an idea in place that disarmed the soon-to-be killed citizens. That is you and me. They said we should hand over all our guns. If you are caught with a kitchen knife, you will be charged as a terrorist if you are from southern Nigeria. But you can be caught with AK-47. It doesn't matter. It is for your protection. So they disarmed the yet-to-be-killed citizens, and these terrorists could do worse pain. They compromised the security system. Suddenly, Nigeria military became a CC military in Africa. Nigeria military. The same Nigeria military that went to Liberia, to Sierra Leone, that went to a few other places like that in Africa, even in some part of Asian countries, performed excellently well in their tasks, in rescuing countries, saving countries from civil war, and all of that stuff, that their mark were actually really fell to. I'm not talking about the other side that probably people have to say about Nigerian soldiers in their countries. That same Nigerian military suddenly became so weak, compromised. We now see soldiers running away with guns from their own barracks because some ragtag terrorists are on their way to kill them in their own barracks. Who dare go to the military barracks and say you want to fight soldiers? Now we started witnessing, because the entire military structure, security structure, the corruption has eaten so deep that discipline is gone. What do you call that thing again? Patriotism. Patriotism is gone. Everyone is now trying to kind of have their own chance. Everybody wants to have their own shot to make their own quick buck. Nobody won't die for anybody. Sure you get? Because the entire system is so rigged and so corrupt. Their soldiers are being sent to their death in the hands of these ragtag thugs. It's because the system allowed it. So the people are not allowed to defend themselves. The system is so deeply corrupt that it disarmed our citizens. And within that same time, we saw the criminals, the jihadist APC, they were on Nigeria media telling everyone who cared to listen that a Fulani that is carrying AK-47 has the right to carry that. And he has the right to move about anywhere in Nigeria. But you, proud Nigerian, if they see you with blade, if they see you with knife, pocket knife, or what do you call it? Kitchen knife, you are gone. You know that, Abi? And that is where the problem is. So you can't tell people to defend themselves when you know that the system targets them. And even when the people put up the courage to fight back, and then probably defeat this terrorist, the system will come back and they will begin to pick the people that just survived terror attack. They will start picking all their young men, young boys and all that, and they will parade them as the people who caused the problems you read about 2 days ago. In fact, they are charging them for murder because they killed 2 Fulanis that came to kill them. We have seen that happen many times.
So that is why a lot of people believe that, including myself, this rigged system is not in your interest. Even if they put your papa, which is the person who born you, where you think you believe, say you trust, in a single month, you will begin to look and say, now your papa be this or na Nigeria. The system is built, rigged against you. That somebody is Yoruba, somebody is Ussa, or Fulani, or Igbo, or Ijo, or any other ethnic nationality in Nigeria. Once they grab this rigged system, you will understand that they have no power to change anything for you. And you might think, this is just it's just a say, one person can come in and blah, 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 blah. Yes, that is the reason why we are still here. Because there are some of you who believe that strongly. But to you, one person will come and just clear all the corrupt. Then he will also come in and just clean all of the, what do you call it? The clash of the civilization that we are battling with. Of course, it won't happen. Because the country where you have over 250 ethnic nationalities fused and forced together to live together, when they speak over 500 languages among themselves, they do not understand themselves. We do not understand ourselves. There is no one man. There is no one solution. There is nothing one that can fix any of this. So now that we know that the system that allowed terrorists to re-victimize their victims, I mean, as if it is not enough. Your village is ransacked. Your community is attacked. There was no military, no police, no nothing. Then you survived it after they killed your family. Among other people from your own community that survived the attack, you were moved to a makeshift, abandoned government property somewhere, maybe school, dilapidated, and you are there. You are already abandoned. You have to fend for yourselves. You're surviving children and the rest of that. You know, people come around and give you things. Then while you are there, you battle. I mean, I can't imagine what the situation is like, right? For people to be in that position that they just lost all their loved ones, right? And they ended up in a place that is even more dangerous, unprotected. And many of them have been in those places for years. And you know something? Everyone, every government that said they will change their lives, they will make their lives better, they've made their lives worse. And every representative of every government, they've made more, I mean, they've become more richer, wealthier, simply because they are catering for the refugees. Nigeria is not at war, but Nigeria have over 10 million refugees. Nigerians in their own country, they are refugees. There are over 300,000 Nigerians in Niger Republic alone that are refugees running away from Boko Haram terror. There are over 450,000 Nigerians in Chad. Over 200,000 of them were received by this Borno government just about a year or so ago. That is safe for them to come back now. Here you get, so many of them are still there. Nigeria is not at war. Tell me any other country in the world that has such number of refugees. These are not just, I mean, we are not even talking about the 143 million Nigerians that they said are living in extreme, multi-dimensional poverty. These are just those who are women, children, who survived the terror up north, in the Middle Belt, in all these areas in the last 12 years. But Nigeria is not at war. Tell me another country that has 10 million refugees. Do you think I make that number up, right? I'm actually being generous with that number. Northern Nigeria, especially Sharia North, something has happened there that because of your coldness, because of your numbness to things like this, because, well, that's their problem. It's their family problem. It's none of your own problem. Let them continue with themselves. A lot of people who said that 8 years ago, especially from southern Nigeria, who never believed that anyone would point gun at them while they are traveling from Ekiti to Ondo, or they are traveling from Enugu to Owerri. That some people will camp in the forest and, point gun at them, speaking the language they don't understand, and march them into the forest for weeks, demanding ransom. There are those who never believed that would ever happen in southern Nigeria 8 years ago. In fact, I remember some of them who were like beating their chest. If they try all this nonsense, the day Boko Haram enter southern Nigeria, that's the day Nigeria will break up. I remember some of you were so bold to say that then. You're not saying that anymore. Okay, you are. Because I know that the number of those of you who now believe that Nigeria should break up in all sincerity has increased. Are you with me? If we see anybody today who still look at me and think I am the instigator, I am the one provoking this or that, I am just the conscience, the one that you don't like to listen to, the one that is right there telling you the right thing, but the right thing is so hard to swallow. I am that voice, because none of these things I am saying to you is made up. None of them. There are things you know. There are things you never pay attention to. There are things you never care about because they are none of your business until they started becoming your business. A lot of you thought it's only that they will be kidnapping you and it's the only way you'll be affected by what was going up north. Then the advocacy for the Yoruba nation was not so loud as you have it now. Then, because a lot of those who are Yorubas too, they never believe anything like that will ever come to Yoruba. If they try it in Yoruba land, we will stand up and fight, only for us to start seeing the same Yorubas defending the Fulani terrorists because a Jaga bandit, Jaga addict was going to be the president of Nigeria. And that was enough. Until everyone is now realizing that it is nothing. You are just their meal tickets. A Yoruba man can say, oh yeah, who are the Yorubas in this room? Who are the Yorubas? And you say, oh, we are Yorubas. One moment too. I think I have a screen issue with my phone there. It's kind of been like back and forth. Sorry about that. She said that Yorubas in the room, raise up your hand. And then they raise up their hand and say, okay, 1, 2, 3, oh yeah, come. The Igbos in the room, oh yeah, raise up your hand. They say, we are Igbos, so 1, 2, 3, come. Oh yeah, Ussa's in the room. And you are just meal tickets. None of these people represent any of us. None. It is a foolish thing, okay, to do. Now, today, these people are destroying, and they've destroyed hundreds of millions and billions of, billions of naira worth of farms. You know what I mean? They've destroyed farms. They've destroyed people. They've killed people that do not share any border with Sharia North. But back then, today, if you see that Sharia North, half of it is controlled by terrorists. People are not allowed to go onto their farms. They are being chased out of their communities. We are talking about thousands of communities. Thousands. In fairness, we will be looking at about 15,000 communities across northern Nigeria that people have been displaced. And most of those places have been taken over by terrorists. Abi, you want to pretend to me now that you don't know that there are places in Nigeria that Nigerians are paying taxes to terrorists in Nigeria today? Okay. I believe you won't kind of pretend about that, because there are. Recently, in that same Niger state, a part of Niger state, Babangida state, Abdul Salami state, part of Niger state is controlled by terrorists. They may not tell you. Half of Borno state is controlled by terrorists. I'm talking about half of Borno state, where more than half of their local government areas in the entire state are controlled by terrorists. And they will tell you, now here Nigeria border reach. If you cross this one onward, you are on your own. Yes. And so on like that. Sokoto, Kerbi, Jigawa, all these places. People have to pay for them to be able to go to some of the farms. They have been taken over and the farmers have been killed. So at the end of the day, it has now escalated the poverty, not just in northern Nigeria, but all over Nigeria today. So people are not kidnapped, but right now they have kidnapped your economic power. Your purchasing power has been kidnapped. And every day, your thoughts, your mind are closing in, blaming yourself, almost like you would want to kill yourself or so. And I please beg you don't. Because that's not going to help. So, I hope that now that I have told you, you probably can have a little bit of empathy, because that's all you can. Because if we ask you to demand for the freedom of those that have been kidnapped so far, right? You are pretty much powerless, aren't you? Anyway, going forward, I saw that this morning, and it was from yesterday, where Fubara said is ready to let go if wike will not give him a peace. I'll share that with you. Remember, the line is also going to be opened, okay? Just for the glimpse.
He's a man who has touched and inspired many with his unwavering love for peace, respect for the rule of law, and justice.
No sacrifice will be too big for me to pay for the success of this administration. And the reason is very simple. It's not political love. It's not because I want to gain any favor from anybody. My interest and love for Adia State is genuine. I am not trying to say I want to be one man that will be there to decide the fate of all, no. But let River State remain.
Always calm and unassuming, Governor Fubara has remained resilient even in the face of provocations and deliberate attempts to cripple his administration or render the state ungovernable by way of sabotage and an impeachment plot.
My burden at that time wasn't the issue of all the drama. It's the millions of Rivers people who had made sacrifice, who are seeing opportunity, and it looks as if their hope are being dashed. They were the ones I was worried about. What would be their fate? That was my trouble. It's not about me.
Despite the unprovoked assaults, Governor Fubara says he will continue to explore the path of peace. His quest for peace saw him making a number of sacrifices, including his acceptance of the lopsided December 18, 2023 presidential agreement. His decision did not go down well with many. But Governor Fubara says his acceptance of the agreement brokered by President Bola Tinubu was not born out of fear or pressure, but in the interest of the state and in view of the likely consequences the lingering political crisis might have on the development of the state.
If leaving this position is what I need or what is needed to bring more peace in the state, I can even tell you people come and take it. It's not about me. People should understand that I'm here. I will go. But River State will still remain.
He His sacrifice and desire for peace in River State is now being recognized at home and abroad. The Silverbird Group on Sunday conferred on him its first Peace Advocate Award.
I am the governor. No matter what it is, there are things I could have done, and there would have been total crisis. But your ability to restrain in the face of crisis, when you have the power to do things, is maturity.
Governor Fubara adds that he is strongly optimistic that a greater River State is possible, stressing that peace is the foundation that will help.
The peace is the foundation, and I could have reason and the rest of that. Anyway, that's from Rivers. Okay.
Wale Edun, the finance minister of Tifnumbu, has now come out to say not Binance, but the Boko Haram printing money with nothing to back it for 8 years is the reason why all of you are suffering hardship and all of that in Nigeria today. Is that not what Maiyegun has been saying for the past same 8 years? And the people that defended Boko Haram for that 8 years, some of them are still alive. And some of them are watching me right now. And they are still the same people who are telling you that you should give Tifnumbu chance because Boko Haram destroyed Nigeria. You know, say you owe me apology. I know say you no go apologize. Ulori Bruku ni apologize because right now you are already doing the same thing for Tifnumbu. Now, Nigeria has been ruined by Boko Haram that you defended for 8 years. Oh, Nigeria. Kushamimbi to wambe. Oh, Nishekini o. Oh, Nigeria. Afa.
Wallahi tallahi. Gbogbo tó rí onílọ́wọ́ máa mú bọ̀ tó bá mú a ò ní jèrè ọmọ rẹ̀. Èmi ọ̀bẹ yàn, èmi ẹ̀bẹ̀yàn, èmi ṣépè fún yàn. Ó wà nábì. Ìwọ àjẹkí Mùsùlùmí ó ní lárí nù. Ìjọ òjì ẹrọ náà lọ́nà. Ìjọ òjì ẹrí àárín pàlọ́pọ̀ Olódùmarè. Ìdí pé bá lẹ́yìn ẹni tó yẹ kó ṣàṣà láti tẹ̀. Owó tó fún wa owó àṣà láti tẹ̀.
I am not asking you to bring money. I am asking you to walk towards the altar now. Yeah, walk towards the altar of the temple. And kneel. Yeah, walk towards the front of your TV now. And kneel down and apologize that the man that warned you, this young man that continued to tell you that you are headed for the Golgotha, you are headed for the rock at over 500 meter per hour speed. Emma crash. You spend that your toro kobo, your little peanuts, you spend them for 8 years telling this man to shut up. But he didn't shut up. Right now, you are agreeing with Wale Edun that Boko Haram destroyed Nigeria when he was printing money. The money, Naira, that wasn't backed with anything. And for Nigeria to recover, for Tifnumbu to fix Nigeria, it will take them more than 10 years. Have you heard that? Nigeria. You see, all of you that have lost so much, You have lost so much to these criminals who never really have any idea of how to run a country. This bunch of propagandists, career criminals, they do not have any iota of idea of how to indeed run a country or run anything at all, except if they are running it aground. Buhari blamed PDP of 16 years waste of PDP. And you agreed with him while he was destroying every fabric of that contraption, including the fake unity that they told you that is non-negotiable. Fake unity. It destroyed everything. It made all of us realize who we are. Everybody know, you say, you shall know thyself. You must know thyself. You have to know thyself. Now, Buhari forced everybody to know their place. That was when it was clearer that more Nigeria is turn by turn Nigeria limited. When it gets to your turn, you can do all the fuck all you want. There will be no consequences. Buhari was that example. Now, it destroyed lives, destroyed Nigeria, divided Nigeria, divided Nigerians, turned them to Nigerians, exposed Nigeria, and all of the fables, the lies they told us growing up became so open that a lot of us would never be going back. No thanks to Buhari and their failed jihadist regime. Throughout that time, Tinubu was beating his chest. I made him president. If not me, Buhari will never be president. Tinubu in 2019, when the shit first hit the fan, it was this Jaga werey, Jaga addicty, Jaga banditi. Some said Jaga pupu, Abina Jaga pampasi, was the one who also gave economic advice to Buhari. Print more money. He said it. And now you have him. Buhari printed over 27 trillion naira, shared the money to the 36 state governors and themselves. Okay, let me tell you. Buhari printed 27.5 trillion naira in 8 years and took 55% of their money and gave 45% to the 36 state local governments and 774 local government areas. You will need to arrest 774 people plus another 774 people. This is going to be their deputies, okay? Then you're going to arrest all of the councillors in all of the local government areas in the last 8 years. I can give you a rough number. You probably will come up with maybe about 6,000 to 10,000 of them, right? Then after you finish with the local government level, then you go and arrest 72 state governors and their deputies. Then you pick all of their commissioners. Then you enter the State House of Assembly. By the time you finish all the raiding across the place, right, you are likely going to come up with another 5,000 or so people. So when you are done, enter the National Assembly, enter the As Old Rocky, those who were there in the last 8 years. By the time you are done, you will realize that those who shared the over $50 billion, if you change 27 trillion naira to dollars, now 50 billion you go get to. Baba, to become a billionaire, to have 50 billion. You know, it's like American, you know, like somebody who is an American president now. Imagine American president who can just go and print $500 billion and just share it to his friends, and all of them just flenjo. In them, you have billionaires everywhere. This one get 3 billion, that one get 20 billion, this one get 50, that one get 2, this one get $500 million. That's exactly what Buhari did, because there is absolutely nothing to show for that money. Nothing. I'm serious. It was made an allocation. While Nigeria was bleeding of Nigeria's crude oil money, Nigerian NNPC was not remitting any shimbang, right? And to cover that up, Emefiole and Bokwari, they started printing money and sharing that as allocation. The governors, they just a collector waiting concern them. Just give us money, that's all that matter. So today, Wale Edun said, that is why you are suffering now. The money is too much. There's too much money that Bokwari printed, and there was nothing to back it. So we are now trying to see what we can do. But do you know something? Hi, walatiwa, Nigeria to finish. No. Now, we just remember this. No, Baba. Or more, may they just share the grace, shut the door. Nigeria is done for, because you know something. What they are doing is now pointing at Bokwari's failure. The Bokwari people are mad right now. They believe that Tifnumbu, who said he built Lagos, he has a smart people around him. That Tifnumbu has failed so much that he won't use Bokwari's failure to shine. So they are not having that. But do you know something? Tifnumbu's government has printed over 7 trillion naira so far. You have heard that from my mouth. And you can say it's impossible. It's a lie. It's not. Now, so, you know, you believe that what Maiyegun was telling you about Boko Haram and the consequences of what Boko Haram was doing was because Maiyegun hated Boko Haram or Maiyegun hated Nigeria. Meanwhile, the real haters of Nigeria are the criminals that you are licking their asses. So, those are your real enemies. So me, I never do anything to you. I'll be waiting, I'll do you. Baba, oh yeah, let's even kind of have a wee chat now. Since you and I know, since you don't know me, I don't ever do anything bad to you. Like, did I do anything that affects you or your economy, your life, your job? So when you look at it very well, you will realize that I am not your enemy. I didn't do anything to you. I did not. Except if you see me and what I say as a threat to your own pot of soup or your feeding bottle, which happen to be corruption, which the system enabled. If you are one of them, then I am actually probably a threat. Here you get now. And I'm not supposed to be a threat, Papa. You are just a crumb eater, man. You they eat waiting on that way they fall from other people's mouth. These overfed pigs that you call your leaders, like that. You are eating their crumbs because all the peanut that they are giving to you are just crumbs that are falling off their chest. You know, when they munch on that. That's what you are eating. You are a crumb eater. Whatever you are getting, whether not just what's they call that in revenue collection, where they harass. You are harassing poor people who are trying to make a little living. You are harassing them, collecting money from them, giving them paper, called tickets. Maybe that's what they give to you that make you feel like, but I am not supposed to be your enemy. I am somebody who wants your children, who wants you, okay, to live a standard, a normal life that's devoid of begging or of poverty, so to say, okay, where you are able to actually take care of your family, where your children are not somebody else's children. So how am I going to be your enemy? So if you don't believe me, it's all right. You will come back here to say, you're good at Sobel. Those who started printing money the second day Tifnumbu announced his name. I had this chat with my friend. And you know what that my friend thought? My friend was like, hey, but it's the job of the central bank to print money now. I said, I know. And he said that, but you know, Cardoso don't they printing home money. And my friend was like, hey, now, but I mean, maybe they have taken out the old notes and he's printing a new one. I said, did you read it anywhere that the central bank has mop out some money or old notes from the circulation? He said, no. I said, But did you hear when they said over 97 trillion naira cash cannot be accounted for? They are believed to be existing in Nigeria economy, but they are not in the bank. They are not in the bank in the banking vault. They are not with the central bank. The central bank said their data shows that the money, the naira, that are inside banks, the naira are inside the central bank. When they calculated everything, right, they realized that over 97 trillion still day town. Old note and new note, everything they did. Remember, it was this effort of trying to take all this money from people they said stockpile them for election. That was why they changed and recolored your money. You've forgotten. That's the problem. There's no big. Now you say, Maiyegun, they talk too much story. Because if I don't repeat and repeat and repeat like this, the level of Stockholm syndrome in a lot of Nigerians is alarming. Is really, really dangerous. Do you remember what I just said now? Emefiole said their own cashless policy was because they believed that some politicians have stockpiled money for election. So because Emefiole said back then, more than 80 trillion Nigeria money, they don't know where the money is. They said the total money that you are using in your circulation, the money in the bank, when they calculated everything, there are more trillions that are not accounted for. So they believe they are in the hands of politicians like Tifnumbu. Remember now? So do not think, Abi. You remember now? Now you remember, Abi. Good. It's the same policy of trying to mop out money. And you started looking for money. There is no naira. There is no naira. Until you started buying naira. Remember? It's because they can't account for the money in the circulation. So at the end of the day, everything Papa lost in it. The people with the money in the circulation, they finally got rid of Emefiole and the rest of those guys. Remember now? Then be the state governors, then be these politicians. Now them get our warehouses where they stockpile money in their hundreds of billions. And they want them for our election. So cashless policy. Last, everybody keep their cash, cashless about. Politicians and Tifnumbu, they won. They want to try to cashless. Therefore, all those stockpile money and the one that Emefiole was trying to mop out and the new ones they are printing, everywhere is now flooded with the trashy naira now. So I asked my friend, I said, did you hear that? Did you hear any time that they said they are withdrawing money from this circulation? He said no. I said, did you hear if they tell Nigerians that this is the amount of money we have printed and we have put in circulation, even though we have no idea of the total money in circulation, fake money, real money, and the rest of them, all of them are operating inside Nigerian system. Central Bank of Nigeria has no control. They have no idea what to do. They don't even know what to do. Okay? So instead of probably stopping the idea of printing more money until you determine where are this money, all these notes, printed money, where are they? They have printed over 7 trillion. Listen to me. 8 years. Yes, it took Boko Haram 8 years to print 27.5 trillion naira for himself and his friends. Right? And the consequences is what they told you is happening now, Abi. Tifnumbu has printed over 7 trillion naira under 10 months. It take 1 year. By the time Tifnumbu do 8 years, he go down print over 100 trillion naira for himself. They say Nigeria is a crude oil producing country, but they don't sell all of Nigeria crude oil for the next 40 years. Ha! Hey, I don't know if some of you even know this. Do you know this at all? Okay, maybe not 40 years, but 25 years. You don't know that? You don't need to speak English. I beg you, don't speak English. What I'm saying is that they don't pay for the crude oil exploration from Nigeria for the next 40 years. And Boko Haram gang, they don't sell them. Tifnumbu, and this gang, they will sell their own maybe for another 100 years. Anybody will pay now. Last, leader of tomorrow, Baba. Ancestors of tomorrow, near. And guess what? If you die as an ancestor, if you die poor, you will be an ancestor. You're not going to any heaven or any hell, nowhere. You would jelly because your own descendant, your children, who will still be paying the debt that a Boko Haram gang borrowed, money they borrowed and squandered there, and the ones that Tifnumbu and gang will also dip you into. When you die, your children will be calling your soul with shinap and shesi drink. Hot drink. Say, anytime when they say, when Nigeria wind blows them, they will be calling your spirit, pouring shinap. Wherever you did, they will say, when you come, the witness, waiting at the witness. This country is killing them and the rest. You won't rest. That's what they have done. Oil prospecting Nigeria sold. Loans borrowed for the next 80, 90 years to be repaid. And you are the leaders of tomorrow. Sure you get. So that's why we say, listen, the only solution here is for everybody to at least go their separate ways. Save us. The agony, the trauma of one Nigeria. Or if you enjoy it, if it makes you feel better, then don't worry, continue to live in denial. The truth is this. Every one of us will come to that conclusion that this is not working. We must part ways and go our separate ways. It may not sound good to you now. It will sound so beautiful, like that beautiful song to you very soon. Ask those who once believed that Nigeria could be remedied years ago. Today, they know better. And before all of us are killed, and before this turn to anything like a civil war or wherever, we are appealing to the common sense of those of you who still have your senses. Because, in our common sense, they say no common. But so far you have your senses, there's possibility that amongst you, we will have those with uncommon senses that would think right. You see, before we watch all our loved ones end up in the trap of these bloody terrorists and their sponsor, we must remind ourselves that if we continue to sort of believe that somehow Nigeria could be saved, and in your lifetime, and not even after your life, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we would have any way out of it if we continue to sort of deny or live in denial of what is real. Because at the end of the day, I don't think you want to be a victim before you finally agree and say, yes, I think we should have this conversation. We should. So I'm going to keep my line open. You know, sometimes it's like a lot of you just love listening to me first. Before you would then say, okay, I want to call in. But meanwhile, the program itself is just for you to at least be able to be part of it, where you can have your own voice as well. Here is a clip of Showore. And in fact, before that, there is a clip where MC Olueron is gifting buses to the police. You now see why you can't ask them to investigate criminals if criminals are their partners in crime. Yesterday we heard that the Nigerian custom officials, they have their own special lodgings inside the most notorious smuggler, gun runner, drug trafficker called the IBD Dende. He has an hotel in Elaro. So yeah. Madam, you go report MC to you.
Thank you very much. Two for Makinde. Thank you. God bless you. This is Musavejo.
Create space,
This is
here you get president, chairman, and all of that. Oh, but that's the reality now. That is Nigeria now. And I do not want to be under the rulership of people like that. I don't know about you. And that's why we said that those of you who are still there, right? Like so many of us who can't really leave the place, right? So you are the MVP because these are the real rulers or the real guys running things in that contraption. Yeah. Okay, I do have a caller. I'm going to take my first call now. So let's have that. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Maiyegun. This is Saolu from London.
Saolu, Baba, how are you?
Very well, very well. Very well.
Midday, I know. So, how's it going?
Well, it's going so good.
So good. Great.
Yeah.
So, I have been on for the last hour. I don't know where you did join, but
no, I joined. I was actually looking for you since 12. Really? So later, yeah. So later, now, yeah. Like I told you,
we started together then. So
yeah,
that's more interesting. See what we have. I've put out my own mind on this.
Yeah.
I bet you do have a lot to say too, Baba.
Since morning, I'm still around. I'm not back to work yet. So
you're enjoying the day off, Bobby.
Yeah,
while it lasts, too.
It lasts. So great. I was reading on Twitter and I saw Wale, this guy Bayo Nonuga, saying that the money blah 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 was because of the money they printed. First of all, there was a video that Atiku met Tinubu in Abuja and was asking Tinubu that, Ashiwaju, why are you running out of town at this late night? Go and look for that video. And he said, he has got something to do in Lagos. And he asked him, he said, when are you coming to Lagos? And you know what Tinubu, he told Tinubu that, if you invite me, blah, blah, blah. Tinubu normally goes to, what's it called, this guy, Buhari. They go, they see each other. He was the one.
Dead of the night, now.
Yeah, he was the one that advised them to print that money. There is video evidence of it. He was the one. He was the one. He advised them to print.
Look at that video just for those who are hearing us, because I have seen
I'm
it too.
telling you,
I will look for it and bring it here.
He was the one. There was video evidence of it. There's newspaper evidence of it.
Yes, there is newspaper cut of it. Yes.
Yeah, he was the one. He advised them to print that money. He doesn't have, no clue. They don't even know what to do. The people that they went there and they kidnapped a principal or a secondary school, a headmaster. They kidnapped an headmaster and the wife. They killed the husband and they released the wife from the same place. The same place. So not up to like a month or 2 months ago. And let's go to this guy.
200 people got kidnapped. Some people are hearing it for the first time right now on this program, right? The rest of the country, probably like others, everybody just moved on like it's nothing.
It's not. You're talking about that one. In Benue State, 50 people. In Plateau, they discover a factory where they make AK-47 in Plateau yesterday. A factory where they manufacture guns.
Too, yeah, I saw that parade. They were parading them.
A factory where they manufacture guns. And this boy, MC, you see the reason why he can threaten people that they should not come out to vote now.
And police said that he was just joking. It was just a joke.
Joking for where? If you know how terrible these people are, If you live in Oshodi, you will know how terrible, how dangerous these people are. You will know how dangerous they are. And that's where we are living. Even this MC up to tomorrow, they say, he's going to Abuja, but they can't get video of him from Lagos. They remove him, they put him back. They removed him, they put him back. His boys are still arguing on the social media today. They come live. Imagine, they come live.
They have
on social media,
on Instagram.
They have. I'm telling you,
no joke.
Yeah.
That people are actually aspiring to be like them. Young
to be like them.
There, hailing them, praising them. Koko Saria, all of that stuff. Be like, man, God damn it. But what would you? Well, I mean, look at all the Nigerian actors and the rest of them. They are also their lackeys too.
Yes, because that is the only place where they're going to have food in their own mouth. They've made the system in a way whereby if they just want to turn the whole
about people with talent, so people who are like creative artists,
artists,
graduate loitering around this thought.
Yes,
because that's
going kneeling down,
or something, right?
And kneeling down at the mercy of people. That is, I'm telling you, it will get to a stage in Nigeria. You see all those guys that were standing next to Tinubu and all those people.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't have common sense. They know that when they want to reshuffle, whatever they do, these are the boys that will be at their mercy. Those, you will be shocked that evidence will come out that people are kneeling down, begging, what's it called? The like of Tinubu for them not to remove them as minister. It's going to come.
Videos. See, Baba, we will soon see videos of some of
them. You will
still
see videos, and you will come.
Like, it's not big deal. All your big men, when they are in the presence of the family of the either president or what have you, right?
They kneel down.
Nothing. They are nothing.
They kneel down. They don't.
The
TUC president, when after the day that they call up the strike, and they had a meeting with Tinubu, go and watch that video. The guy hands there for back. His two hands were at his back, and he couldn't look up. When Tinubu was talking to him, he was looking down. You know what that means? You know that time where they go cash us for primary school, say you jump first, go buy this thing for Balewa for outside. And the teacher don't catch you, you go just put your hand for back like this, they look down. You go, they panic, they shake. I saw the guy, they panic, they shake in front of Tinubu. So is that somebody that wants to fight for the labor?
Who wants to lead millions of people, Abi?
He wants to lead millions of people.
To fight oppression and fight government. Oh, God damn it, man.
It's absolutely like what you said. In like 8 years down the line, people will be boasting their chest that Tomba war ile Yoruba. I'm not calling for one.
See what they talk here. I see some people even were like prominent on social media saying it. Today I know they see them again.
There's one thing about life. There's something there. People talk, but when the reality is done at them, then they will know that or more. So in combat ile ṣẹlẹ̀.
File yàtọ̀ sí file o.
Kíni ilé ṣẹlẹ̀. Ẹni tó gbá létí tó ní kò ní dá fún ẹ tó gbá létí kejì. Nígbà tó bá gbà kẹta. Òun ló máa turn.
Ẹjọ́ ló máa ṣe. Ìyà ọdún ọmọ ló ní kò ní dá fẹ́ tó náà kò ní dá fún yín. Ṣùtọ́ bá tí àbá dùn ẹ̀ dáadáa, ẹjọ́ ló máa ṣe ẹjọ́. You live for Ilupeju now. Yes, sir.
If you come Oshodi, you see people get encounter with soldiers. When the encounter starts,
I know them well now. They avoid the entire place.
When the encounter starts, you go see people they pick up. By the time the soldier come remove the belt.
If you were in Oshodi in the, let's say, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003.
I know all those time. I know now.
If you are around there, running is regular. You feel day kappa. Auntie Bereo, if you day, what do you call that place? That bolade like that bridge area. What if you go there? Run it be like normal thing that time, Baba.
No.
What if Bereo? They don't fight. They don't start for Oshodi again. No, now so you go to sit down for the draw. Tonika kuma matala to run away. That was what life was then. So when people come out and say Tifnubu built Lagos, I'm like,
which Lagos?
Really?
Which Lagos in build? Lagos where rain fall for 2 hours. The whole place blocked with water. Ordinary 2 hours rain. Everywhere blocked with water. Which Lagos in build? The like of all these Cardoso, Wale Edu. Cardoso, what CV does Cardoso have? Oshiomale said it. He said, you cannot judge somebody with a CV of closing bank down. And said, this guy, did you not see this guy? This guy that was in that contested for presidency, this Igbo guy. What's his name? His surname is something M.
Tell me other thing you know about him. Maybe I can remember.
He worked in Central Bank before.
Oh, Mogalu.
Look at
okay.
Yeah, look at the guy vibing. Talking about what that is Oxford and Cambridge for you. They have prepared paper. They believe in the theory, but the practical cannot. The guy was
brought in
talking
for a purpose. That's why you see it be like say people who know that Nigeria is in a serious problem, right? You need someone long term, yeah, and that person will come in and they will start implementing their ideas, okay, and say, listen, I know it's tough, okay, my idea, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what we are trying to do. We're going to see some result in the short term, okay, we're going to see some in mid-term, and on like that. Then you go with it. So if people now say, we don't want your policy, you can easily just resign and say, you know what, I have no other idea of how to fix this. If you're not going to let me do it,
Baba,
now.
Only one person will resign for Nigeria.
Me, I'm just saying it now. Say
this guy no go resign.
You see, you get plan, and your plan, they say no, they work. You are like, okay, you know what? That's me. Cardoso don't get any plan. They go bring and put suit on top arm, saying you will be the next central bank governor. Man. This is what you are going to do. This is what you are going to do. Just do it. That is why they are doing a UJ, Kalo now. Let's try this. Let's try that. Unfortunately, all the ideas they are trying, Baba, a company like say they are reading from Emefiole's handbook. You know this.
You see, there is one thing about that guy, that Emefiole himself. If Nigeria was is a sane society, if there was a normal society, if we were in China, there is no way the like of that Tinubu we see. He will even be in underground cell where below the one where below.
Are you talking about Emefiole a bit Tifnubu? Because by now they will don't hang Tifnubu Tete. Meanwhile, Emefiole's story won't be long this time. They could don't kill him by December 31st.
It's just that one should just face finally scored.
Sure, you get that by 31st. Yeah. By now the people where Emefiole work with, now those ones we will come they look at how them they will see they go don't hang. If to say Nigeria was China, wait to me, I think with what we know. See, now the same day they go hang Boko Haram and Aisha, Pastor Ruga and his wife, and their daughter, okay? Because there's one of their daughter too who couldn't really keep it to herself. She was able to make something too. So now that Maman Daura and the rest of them, they will.
And Tunde, there's another guy. There's another guy you never mentioned. There's another guy that ran away. Tunde Smooth. We call him Tunde Smooth. Sabinus.
Tunde Sabitu, the one that.
Sabino. Yeah, we call him Tunde Smooth.
Tunde Smooth. I'm just saying that category by category like that. Sure, you get. We now execution they go they do since August, latest August. Now execution. So by now, now Emefiole set will go day.
Somebody told you
by December.
Yeah, somebody told you they printed that amount of money. So if the economy is so bad, so that means, do you want to tell me that in Nigeria, if Nigeria want to investigate something, if police want to catch somebody, look at there was a guy that they said he killed a police officer in River State.
Yeah.
They call him Baba.
Oh,
they look for that guy. They did not find him alive, for my brother. They found his dead body. They dig his dead body out and took it away. Look at that. Oh. They did not find that guy alive.
He's already dead, but to be sure that he's him, eh?
He was him. They did, and they use police has to reinforce with Air Force to soften the ground before they move in. They soften the ground before they move in. And the guy, his people, the guy is already dead. They buried him. They now exhumed his body and took it to Abuja to confirm to them that the person that killed that police officer. This is the person we are looking for.
If they allow the system to really work and not compromise,
they know it.
Some of
my brother
will be in jail themselves.
It will. See, all the money that they are looking for, was it not somebody that transferred it from a bank? That went into a particular system. The state government, if you give them money, the account that they pay people's salary to, you know. The one they spend in cash, you know. So there's no need that they're looking for any money or coming out to be telling us they're looking for money. Somebody printed this, somebody printed that. If you want to collect the money, you will collect it. 2 days ago, they were showing something, one Zamfara governor, ex-Zamfara governor. They had to fight this guy to go and get 400 cars from him. You bought the cars and you took all of them away. Jeeps, other cars. What do you want to do with them?
Like
400 cars.
Money, then you took
and you stole money.
Bought with government money. Oh.
Yeah, and these are the people.
Then they had to go to court to get those cars. Oh.
Yes, now. And these are the people that Tinubu now started with Qatar people.
Now. The person you are talking about is the Minister of Defense in Nigeria now.
Come and report if somebody is wanted to take bribe from you. They think those people are stupid. They are not. When they went to India, did you see those Indian people come back?
Who is coming back? Same
for where?
You are already there in the enslaving
people teaching us. You know how many of those Indians, as at today, over 200 and something companies have closed down in Nigeria.
Yeah, now. You're saying over 200, over thousands. Like they gave me a figure the last time, right? And this was about last year. 14,800 their companies.
No, this one is just the 200 and something. Yeah, I think they are forming one so that they are gone.
They're like a major okay then.
Yeah, they're gone. They cannot cope.
Every day. They are declaring losses every now and then.
Yeah, because where do they want to see the money? The money they printed, that was the money they were giving to Dangote to be buying all those refinery equipment and subsidizing it for him. And this guy now, he got the refinery working. For him not to be selling that crude oil to Nigeria in that amount of money, they're pretending that they're bringing crude oil from US. For them to just prove
how to rob people and rob people,
yeah,
there's no mercy at all.
They just want to keep us as destitute for the election. When the election comes, the social register. When the election comes, they don't know. They don't need social register that time. They know where you people are. The ballot paper will reach there. If now water na they go carry the ballot box come there. Just to prove, say, they bring this thing there, then they go come and write the result for where they did. But the time where they look for people for Makoko to give them money, they go say social register no day. All those social register, they are full with APC people. APC. Who they for APC? Who know?
Now? They bring their forms to their small the meetings now.
If we are still fooling ourselves that there's something that we need to, it's either we go back to regional government, yeah, we know there's a lot of work to be done, but we start from there. We reorientate our, at least, Baba, when we
break up right now,
when something this
apart from this Nigeria is
when something this small, if somebody they steal money and you want to attack them, you know who to attack. But when it's too big, you know if you go fight this person, go fight this person. You cannot. This now the man where we supposed disrespect to. Ento ye ka fa lagbada yare, ento ye ka shipi la lori ere o, ento ye ka fe ba no re, ento ye ka korin le lori re, ati mo. Bo yato si ka lo korin le oko lori ni Kano.
Now they can use everything to discourage you. Oh, it's because he's a Muslim.
Oh, it's because it's a Fulani. Why are you coming? Go and talk to your own this or that. So that time, nobody will say go and talk to your own people because you are our people. We will deal with you our way.
And me, the thing where they even pay me pass for our own Yoruba side, you see, with all these juju where they say they get, one man, there was a man today say they take 1.7 million from his account in the bank. So when they were investigating, then he now saw somebody now in the bank now leaked the thing to him that he told them to return the money. Else, 6 of those people that are involved, they're going to die. He said they didn't return the money. 3 of them died already.
Oh.
I said, you have that kind of medicine. Why are you not killing those people that are stealing, spoiling Nigeria? You have the list of their own name. Why you not buy them one after the other? Make them do that.
This thing that you just said, this thing, I remember when I was still in Nigeria, and why people were thinking of how to use, jazz to, control people or do this or do that and all that or get money. Me, I was asking these guys because I was always curious. Okay, I was like, we know if you use this thing to just deal with all these our criminal politicians, right? All these our leaders, and they were like, no, you know that they themselves they are very powerful. They have just this or that, so that is why this one cannot work on them. You know, they are rich. I was like, oh, that was when I was young. I was like, oh, okay, that was the explanation they could give to me. I didn't buy it, but it was easier to me. It was enough to keep me short and say, okay, that means they are more powerful. They have stronger voodoo men. So this is what you just talk. Now, why don't you use it?
Yeah, because I'm looking at it. But sometimes I just like on Facebook, you just see some things happen. Somebody they say somebody disappeared. That one is very, very common among these kit makers in all these rivers, delta now. That you see, they say somebody disappeared. And you're looking at it. So you people can just
change to a bird, change to a woman.
Yeah. Somebody turned somebody to yam and
somebody turned somebody to something. Somebody stole your penis. Somebody stole your body parts.
And they would say they will return it. I've been so you people have all this power. The person taking your money has a name.
They say, no, you know they work like that. You know they work like that. Say, why don't you further your research and make it work like that?
Baba, he's working on their own people, their own poor people. And it's not working on people that are cheating you. So
that's why you have to question what you believe.
So that's why I keep asking them all the time. I keep asking them. I say, so what is the point of this thing? Why do you people have it? Why do you have it? It's the same as you see some drama. I just don't want to go into it. You see some drama between these OPC people and some other part of people, that one guy in Ibadan, and they are fighting, and all of them bringing one juju out to each other, and the next person comes out the next day. I say, well, you've been calling this person head since last night. The person still wake up today. So which kind juju not get? So that one, I don't.
It's got good. I said, maybe it's got a very hard head.
I just look at the whole thing and I told myself, I said, you know what? When we are ready to fight for ourselves, we will rise up.
Yes, so
I don't know, because I've tried to go back to the history of in the 60s when they have all these elections.
See, Baba, most of what they told us in history too, they are just essays. Okay. So it's
because
we are a generation that is
Maiyegun, you remember this thing when they say wet here? All those times that they are wetting people's house.
Those are like political riots.
Yeah, I was asking somebody yesterday. I said, do you mean that we have all these juju that these people are talking about? So why can we know? So at least the God that we want to call for, we know that
that one where they talk say that they use egg as bomb.
Even in Mushi, when OPC first started, they said they throw eggs.
You go see people. We go see. They say, I saw it with my eyes. I saw it. I know. Because oh yeah, do it now.
So wait,
do it now. Let's see it. You don't need to bomb house, okay? Just prepare the egg, okay? And let us go and dump it in something, and then it will explode. Like when you bought a test weapon. Oh, lies, Baba. What happened is that our people have a way of exaggerating things, okay? In a way, we have our way of fighting till here and here and then exaggerate it to something else. When you ask them to come and try it, they will tell you and say, I know, you know, our forefathers, they have taken all of it away. But then you hear
do you remember do you remember a guy went to Babish naked?
If a Mudakeke civil war, people still told me that they use egg to bomb house. So when these Fulani terrorists were there, some of us were asking, how far about that egg? At least that one no need gun. Can we use that? Move by crate of egg. Carry and give all this, we'll go do them for us. So all we have to do is just when we see Fulani terrorists and all that, we just throw egg. I see how fun that would be when you see they carry AK-47 and you're hiding in the forest. In your pocket you have eggs. Pump. These are going to work. These people are careful and they carry egg.
These people enter somebody's farm and we say we get this juju to command somebody to even come.
When I was growing up, they said king is like next to gods. Baba, you know which are they talk now. You know, feel looking for high like that anyhow when they grow up, because maybe those kings then they were older people, Baba. Here you get because like you know, if you look them anyhow, anything they tell you say they be. Omo, you remember when they talk say Babangida no fit die because new people carry Babangida enter to do a shrine. You never hear that story.
I hear.
You hear that story where you grow up, baby. Do
you know?
Shrine, nothing.
Do you know?
To Babangida.
Do you know that they rob student of Ife? That time they said whether it's rumor or whether it's this, and they said they rob Babangida. They took something to ring from the
It's true now. And now what
so the guy the person with the carry go Oduduwa shrine.
About Bobo, share you get and extra. You understand that now? So what happened is that they have done this just to sort of preserve some of their own egos at the time. Okay.
You are just to preserve their ego.
They know they want to make you ask too much question. I know they ask too much question. On
Maiyegun, for when I wanted to start primary school. No, we wanted to go and write qualifying exam in primary school. He kept me flower. We got to Ikene, we had to turn back and went back to some back. We had to go through the back because they were fighting because of kingship. And up till last year, these same people brought themselves to this radio station in Ibadan. And it was two family to family, number. And that Ikene of all places. Pastor Ruga. Pastor Ruga. I think
same thing with Ijebu and Agoiwoye. So recently Ijebu decided that they will have a king.
Agoiwoye had. Yes. Agoiwoye had. Ijebu never had for a very long time. Yeah.
And Ijebu is like for years since like about
Pastor Ruga when he was in power, he wanted to bury somebody or something like they lock up the church. They didn't allow him enter that church in Ikene. There was even an incident that where they cleared the whole rug in is it the mosque or something like that? Yeah. It can help you tomorrow. I'm telling you, this thing is about 40 years ago. That getting to 40.
Yeah, I think I remember, but I remember that time. I'm not sure if this story is true, by the way. If I have anybody watching from Ikene, this is not me trying to doctor your history, okay? So from what I heard, it was that even Awolowo tried, and they said that when Awolowo couldn't make that happen, it was blamed for because he didn't approve this or he didn't approve that, and because of that, it was like okay, it's not going to happen. So since Awolowo couldn't do it, so some people now said Awolowo, who was like an icon everywhere, couldn't let couldn't settle the Kene's kingship, right? They said he now caused them and said, you see, they will never have a king again. This story, I'm not sure if it's true. Sure, you get. There's so many things they told us. So growing up.
Now all those things.
So they say, Lord, now calls and said they will never have a king.
Oh.
And since then, they never had a king. I'm not sure if it's true.
They paraded the guy. There was an incident in Ikene live on TV. Somebody exhumed a corpse of somebody and cut the head. They show the guy with the head like this for Ileweno. Afterwards, the guy was made a chief in that same village. It's life there.
All these things where you dig, you take me back to Odogbolu too. You know one thing there? There was a time that hey Mama. That was the time I kind of believed that Baba Ogudeo. I was a little boy. I was raised in Odogbolu. I saw all these things, right? So that was the moment I believed that Baba Ogudeo. Wow. Ow.
Later, yeah, but the thing, okay, Maiyegun, if the thing they, why you see they suffer?
I the wait now, Baba say I said I was a boy. Okay, I was a boy. But later I can't know say I'm on a leg go. Here you get what happened there. We had vigilantes. Then we were having problems of people breaking into shops in Odogbolu. So they now say we'll be having vigilantes. So we have vigilantes. And these are like normal people, okay, everyday people in Odogbolu, including some babalawos. So babalawos joined vigilante. So one morning, they have killed somebody, okay? And this guy they killed, they left his body on the road to my school. And as a child, we saw that, and I was like, I'm still traumatized, not much anymore. But like I'm talking about it right now, I can feel that trauma. I mean, seriously, okay. So yeah, the whole town was thrown into wahala. They've killed somebody. Who be this person? They've cut off his head. Okay. Cut off his. So it was morning. So the old people were like, they now recognize that the person they killed was killed by vigilantes. Yeah. So it must be a criminal. But what happened to his head? Or was his head cut off by some ritualists who saw the body overnight? Or what happened? So too many questions, right? These guys now came out and said, no, he's an armed robber, he's a criminal. So his own people now who came out, they said, no, he wasn't a criminal. This young man was a laborer. He's not from Odogbolu, so he came to work there. So he came back later at night. Because he came back, he always come back from a farm at night. So he used the period to sort of do his laundry, wash his clothes, do other things he wants to do, mostly at the backyard. And you know, in Odogbolu, for some who have been there too, right? Our front yard and our backyard, they are almost the same sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
Which means
I understand that school structure. Yeah.
Down there and be talking to people in the other area there. Our front of our house can be the front of the house that we talk to other people here too, right?
Yeah.
So this guy was at the back of his house, which is pretty much like a footpath too. So this vigilante saw him and they dragged him. And while he was there talking to them, he now told his own neighbors in the house that, sorry, I'm coming. They said I should follow them to Olorutun's house. Olorutun's house is like the village the quarter head, or the street, head.
Yeah.
But they were not taking him to the Olorutun's house. They were luring him into the corner at the back of the town to kill him. So they killed him, cut off his head, cut off his other part and all that for, Cut the long story short, the reports of somebody killed in Odogbolu reached Ogun State, Abeokuta stuff, right? So they sent police. So police came and they arrested all the babalawos, all of the vigilantes.
Yeah.
Then they took all of them away. What happened? The next thing, the police came back again with all of these vigilantes, all the babalawos. They took them to the houses. The ones that cut off the head presented the head. The one that cut off the penis, the one that took out the intestine on the other part. Everyone started presenting what they cut off from his body.
What they took from
So that was when we realized that it was actually killed. Ritual and all that. How could that happen? How is that even possible?
Baba.
So
Baba.
Wait. So they took them away and they said that I was in Odogbolu and I saw those who were supposed to be their friends, family, and all of that. They started doing everything that they have to do. They say, I was a little boy and people would tell me that they will leave them soon. I was like, that's impossible. They can't leave them. Then one day, but after maybe 3 months, now police can't drop all of them. They were looking so fresh. They were looking all right. I was like, oh my God, we didn't know that Dia was the one who had to call it and said they should bury everything because it didn't want to do Ogbolu name mentioned.
To be dragged in the mud.
So he had to close everything. They ended everything that time, right? And that was the end of it. But they made us believe that there
was a woman that was on a particular program saying that it was coming from somewhere in Edo State or something. So by the time it got to like from Ijebu-Ode and they were going through some part of like Ishagama, he said they counted 4 bodies on the floor without heads, dead bodies. This was like about December or January.
You see the people I just told you now, some of them, they are high chiefs in my town today. Some of them return back as babalawos and all of that, who are now like very rich. They've got money. Do you understand that? But I see no fear, and I'm like every time I see them, I'm like, huh? I really look powerful. They just killed that guy.
Yeah,
till tomorrow I see it that way.
Yeah.
Yes, the system welcome them back. The high chiefs, they are watching me too.
That's why
everybody don't know me.
Remember when I called in 3 days or 4 days ago that I was telling you that my fear when we go back into all this, we have our own nation, I said we still have that it's not a reset button, no. That is where the job is going to start.
I know. It's the real thing.
Because these people, there was even a guy that was on all these Olosho app that killed 7 people, I think in even 4 months or so in Ogun State.
I think I remember the guy. I remember the story rather.
Baba, I just look and say, and these people, so where is the money they are getting from this ritual? Where is the money?
There's no money there.
So all these people
trafficking and all of that stuff. Unfortunately,
all these people, you have all this power. And in your country, somebody is sitting down solely, and you people cannot eat rice again. Rice that is for common man. You cannot eat bread. You cannot have gari again. And you are still telling us that, come on, man. Me, I don't.
You better. It's all fear, right? I managed to get over it, and a lot of people sort of think it's about. It's not confidence. It's knowing the truth. What you don't know can actually imprison you. Sure, you get.
I'm telling you.
And sometimes our lives are built around fear. The fear of the unknown. You don't want to find out. So why? I'll just believe what they say and avoid it. But when you take your time to actually study, you realize that majority of ideas, religion, and all those things, right? They are there to actually imprison you and control your mind.
Suppress you, control your mind.
They can only do that by scaring you.
Yeah.
They tell you something's going to happen to you if you don't do this. If you do this, it's going to, don't, all that stuff. There are things you don't want to find out. So therefore, you just pretend to just say, okay, I will just obey. But the moment you know the truth, that is their control mechanism, they will tell you, you should be careful. I hate that word. That word.
Baba, ṣe báwọn kan ló wọlé ti kí lorúkọ ẹ̀, Ọba of Lagos. Kan gbọ́ pa bàbá. You feel believe say somebody go even use leg.
You they talk about
wear shoe of Kabiyesi and you know go that.
Kabiyesi is on ransom. That was the moment. That was it for me. That's the height of it for me. That was the moment I was like, let's get real now. Okay, we need to get real. You saw these stories about our forefathers. Let's leave them. They in their own time, they use what they believe they could use, Baba.
I don't mention a particular village. Somebody will be saying our students, our own, when me I did for school, they fuck one of the Kabiyesi wife.
And when I was growing up, they say if you dare it,
if you touch it,
and now you are either going to all of my cash that person will either die untimely, or if you leave, you will never amount to anything in your life. Actually, scary stuff. We didn't know. I don't want to tell you my own story because some of them are watching me. They will be like, "This Maiyegun, why do you actually have to know everything like that?"
But me, I just sit down all the time and watch and look at all these things and say to myself that if there's some people that even one when I was listening yesterday.
I mean, our people spend more time trying to scare us from actually advancing in knowledge.
Advancing in knowledge, yeah.
Than what they spend their time trying to cover. The secret, that is nothing. Majority of what they call secret are actually trying to cover up their own personal egos, Baba. Don't do this. It's against our tradition. Go and check it out. It's against one person's interest in it.
For Oshoji, these people, they come inside our house now. You're going to call people.
Yeah.
They cannot even open my mouth.
No, I mean, we appreciate culture. When it comes to the point where the fear of challenging the status quo, protecting this minor interest and all that is what you call culture.
I will not disregard. I will not disrespect culture.
Absolutely not.
No. But let me.
I will not be manipulated.
Let's point.
By some low minds, right?
Yeah. Let's point it into one direction. These same people that will pack ship at the middle of the sea and project missile into a particular place, and it will eat only that spot.
Gongo, now.
Gongo.
So how come and we also see, Baba?
Is it not the same way that we disappear? So why can we not disappear into Aso and treat these people fuck up?
Saulu, when we were growing up, they told us that some people had power, that they can just look at you in the mirror. Sure, you know. And they will just, they will see what you are doing. You know that? They will just be like that.
Yeah.
But look at it now. I do not need mirror. I can tell somebody right now, any part of the world.
Any part of the world.
All I have to do is just dial them now and they will appear. If I say, Saonu,
then I will appear on your phone.
Your phone go ring, you go pick up. I say, hey.
And if you have a big mirror, just project me there and you'll be telling somebody that you see I've called you.
If I want to project film to my screen there now, I can leave you there and be talking. When we were growing up, it could only be magic. Remember?
Magic.
It could only be magic. That was the only explanation. While our own people, they look mirror. But people, they look everywhere where they go create something where we say,
they are preparing. They are preparing for AI in 2030 something. We are preparing for what's it called? Judgment Day.
You know? So after day now, you see where the world is today, Baba. You know, say when we're growing up, they do. You see, what's only? I mean, this Nollywood did us. You know, good. You know, teach us anything. It's only sort of socially conditioned us to be reasoning in a particular way. You know, reasoning, Baba.
I know. It's not.
You know, say if I, and this could have been some great ideas if our old men had all this idea, right? That they could project things and all of that, okay? So take for example now, if they told us that if I want to speak to my dead relative or somebody now, I have to just go to the person who speaks to the dead, Abby, and they will call the spirit, and now we'll call, my son, how are you? And all that drama. Abby, you just mentioned AI now. If I die, I can leave AI message that will continue to talk the way I am talking right now, to be sending happy birthday messages to my children. On the day of their graduation, it will give them a message just like I am talking now. Even though I am dead, though, I can program an AI message, right, that will deliver a special message, a video, and special letter from me on the day of my son or my daughter's wedding. Even I am dead. That's where we are today. But somebody is still believing that if they carry the horn of Ogufe, pour soap on it, I can curse you in London. Hey, why? My boy, Saulu.
Baba, who go when you buy the whole cow? They won't use the head. Who go chop the rest of the body? Not the people when they.
How many money? How many money? They have to be the one.
My brother.
All we are saying, just for the sake of those who are watching us, okay, we are not trying to be funny. We are just saying that
in this day and time, with the level of education and exposure, okay, it is ideal for us, okay, to begin to act what this modern time requires, instead of us bragging about what, when they ask us to come and prove it, we go turn them to fight or another threat.
Yeah.
If we have any power to change any course of anything, if yours is that power of command and that, there's no point in telling us, stop looking away, use it, so that we can say, wow, Saulu, do you hear what just happened? I said, what happened there, Maiyegun? Somebody just commanded the Kalu now to start running from Abuja to Lagos. Right now, all of his security details are running after him. I said, who did that one? They said, one guy from Ijesha. You understand? They say, Kalu no well now. They say, he go collapse before he reach Gusape. Now, waiting the cost won't do be that. He go run till he collapse.
He gets
Nobody has tried anything like that.
They say, Ajay Deka. I asked one of my friends yesterday, I said, oh boy, they not get people where go make all these governor, make them begin the car, how much money they steal, where they keep the money.
Imagine, what is this guy's name? Saweku. Running out of Alausa. Yeah! I will confess. This year, I have some money, there's social amount of money. That one is right there. The account is with social person, like
social person.
They don't touch them. Here you get. While we are dealing with that, Mezanfara governor also go naked in the market and say, hey, help me, oh. I will confess.
Oh, yeah.
So if you come and say about jazz, I will say, my Lord, I believe you, sir. Well, show me things. You tell me, say, you saw somebody where they do this too. You are there when they command this. You are when that one commanded gun and he collected gun from all those nonsense. You get now, show walking. No, they tell us. Show walking.
Remember when Trump won't kill one guy, where they kill one guy for Iran or something like that? Where they use drone.
Mustafa, Muhammad something, anyway,
Oh boy, the driver know that now only that guy waiting for the back of the car.
I tell you.
And they don't see anything. They don't see how the gun come, how the bullets come. Like the guy.
No.
Not bomb, gun.
Yeah.
That they target the guy in his head. And the drone went.
Precision knee. They don't program in face. Say for our own place, they go say, may you go give our deity the picture. You go put the picture in front of the thing, so that the Ogun go recognize the face of person when you want to deal with. Here you get all this idea. We get time. So it's just that the physical one that we can see and tell, they are real. We can touch them, right? But our own mouth, we say, you don't want to find out. Say, I want to find out. I get one guy where they go everywhere about this one. And they go everywhere. They talk say no jazz, right? In can talk to anybody where get jazz, right? In go give them 1 million naira. In can they announce where in go. Say if you get jazz now, come collect 1 million. Other people added money to it, 2 million, 3 million. Because you better don't go. Say we get places where they don't tell us, say if you get to, about if you no come back alive. Because the people of witches where they there, like the headquarters in Otta. Say they say Otta is the headquarters of the witches.
Yeah.
So if you see the Jelta,
Baba, the road where they from Abule Egba all the way to that place, so they know the road. No, they not do up to tomorrow. Which
politicians will steal money when they're supposed to do road.
They don't find out. They're not. Oh my! I tell you.
Sometimes, so what we are trying to tell our people is that please, this is 2024. Okay. Do not come and tell me that you have this ancient
we need to stand up. We need to stand up for ourselves and fight.
We need to think modern and ignore all of those.
Think outside the box. Get rid of these people.
Yes, sir.
Then we start. We know we've got a lot of work to do. It's not going to be like a walk in the park, but we need to start from somewhere.
We need to.
We can't just sit down there and be busy. and wait for 2027. They will give two people about 5,000, give them one small bag of rice, and then they will say, hey. Then they will vote again. The same problem again.
We'll be here. Baba made the vote, okay? As long as they are doing it, we will be here. And as long as we are here, they will be coming back to say, we are back again, until when they will not be able to come back until.
Come back, yeah.
Saul,
my brother,
you have been
no worries. Thank you very much.
I
thank you.
enjoyed the chat with Saulu. The line is going to be free again, for everyone who might want to be part of it. Now, here is something you need to know. Okay, in this day and time, there are some certain things that culture gave to us. All right, and then civilization also gave to us. Okay. The modern warfare requires the modern tools. And in this day and time, information, do you know that information is actually like a weapon of mass destruction? It's so much valuable. Now, that people believe that propaganda is also a war machine. Do you know that? Where you begin to sort of propagate something in order to either obtain information from your adversaries, or you project yourself to be bigger than who you are, or you can even use propaganda to present yourself as weakling. You can use all this information to get an advantage, or take an advantage over your adversary. In this day and time, nobody they do incantation, no. Because in this day and time, when people they do incantation, whatever I say to you in the day of before you finish saying something about you could know, you have guns that are traveling like about 3-4 miles to hit somebody. You are there, you are doing you are gone. Our forefathers who were using all of that, doing all of that, most of them, before the war they participated in, they were the ones that you have to have contacts. Wherever they carry wood or sword or arrow or bows and arrows and all of that stuff. This is 2024, my dear brothers and sisters. So do not, as an educated person, brag about fears that they implanted in us. You get that now? So we shouldn't be, And to those of you who are still living in that past, thinking in 2024, you can sit in front of you can sit in front of your TV right now, listening to me, and then you can, somehow just command me. Maiyegun, I'll show you. I want to show you, say, just stay. Oh yeah, Maiyegun, sleep. And I'll just be like, and everybody will just be like, oh my God, I watched it live. Here you get anything when you feel liberate other people right now. If it is just going to make you feel like you are a super this or that, Baba, okay, joke, you monkey, Sorry for keeping you waiting there. How are you doing, Baba?
Good afternoon, Mr. Maiyegun, the General.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry.
Thank you for this your afternoon. Will I call it lunch?
We call it the afternoon. You walk color, Baba.
Yeah, it's Bright calling from. I'm Bright calling from Italy. This afternoon discussion. Sometimes it helps us, mostly we that live in the Europe region. Sometimes when we are at work, sometimes the work is like straight through. You just want to hear something that will release you and start working,
Oh,
I'm at work.
So this does serve that once in a while. I mean, that you could just be hearing that voice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always longed for it, for you to have your program during this time. Because most of us, most of us, when we hear things that affect us, especially in Nigeria, and sometimes we want to speak about it just to relieve ourselves of distress.
Exactly.
It's very, very important. It helps a lot.
Nice.
I want to talk about the issue your caller and you guys were kind of, discussing about when it comes to our traditional beliefs, heritage, culture, and those stuff. Maiyegun, let me tell you, politics did not start today. Politics has been there since our cultural heritage stuff and all this. Because some of those things you're talking about, they were just kind of a way to brainwash the populace, the community traditionally. There were some cultures that were put there to control you, to put you there. Those monarchs were, enjoying those benefits, those beliefs, so that you put the people on a straight line. You see, let me give you an instance today for some of the reasons why we are not developed, especially in Africa. Do you know that most of us that come from the south part of Nigeria, whether you are from the south, east, south, central, we have one common cultural way of life. For example, I come from Edo State. Under norms and traditions, sometimes they will tell you when a woman is in a cycle, as a man, you are not supposed to get close to her. When we were growing up in the village, a bucket a woman used to bath, a man does not use it to bath. There is a kind of a woman is not.
What they told you will happen. People are reading all these charts now, and I don't want to see it. A woman is really go on.
A woman who's in a cycle is not supposed to go close to you in bed. No, they believe it's kind of it makes you weak as a man. It does not embody you. It does not create prosperity because she's not clean at that time.
It affects your work. It affects your plan. Is that same in Edo? Because that's same in Ijebu. They told us that in Ijebu.
No. That is why I said we from the south central, we all have this similarity in our culture.
Right. Go on, Baba.
So those things have been there. But Maiyegun, do you know that most of us that comes from this part of this area, most of us, we find ourselves in abroad, in the UK, in Italy, in Spain, and we live with our wives in just some of us live in one bedroom.
Do
you know that?
I do.
And in Nigeria, we have the male toilet and the female toilet. You understand those patterns of life we are living in Nigeria. The male does not go to the female toilet.
No.
The female does not go to the male. It was because of all these traditions and beliefs. But today in the UK, for example, you have a bedroom that you will sit on it. Your wife will also come and sit on it, whether she's on a cycle or not.
Doesn't matter.
And you will sleep in the same bed when your woman is inside. We cannot say you go to the next room because in Nigeria we have and in Nigeria we have a big house where your father can be living in his own room, your mother is living in her own department. When you want to see your mother, you can go there. But in Europe we don't live like that. We some of us even live in one room. Some of us are entitled to even have 3 rooms. But
they sleep inside the same room with their wives. Especially the ones we don't do this small like that because they have become strong men and women go weakened.
Okay.
Hey.
And today we all live those kind of life that we have crossed those boundaries. Some of us still believe that when we make love to our wife, there are some certain place we are not supposed to go. We are supposed to do the mama and papa style because it's a great traditional and belief. That is why some of us in Europe, some of us they have broken marriage because they don't explore, because life, the constant thing about life is changing. Because when you are constant, when you are just there, you don't move. It does not, even in physics, it does not propel any progression.
No.
You have to change the dynamic. Today we are talking of AI. 10 years or 15 years ago, there was nothing like AI.
Nothing like that.
Because nobody sits down without moving forward. So everything has to evolve. Even the computer of 1998 is not the same computer we have today. No. Everything evolves. Everything changes. So you now tell me, a man that is maybe sleeping in the same room, using the same toilet with his wife, is the same man that will spend money to go and take care of people in Nigeria. He's still progressing. Nothing has changed in his life. He's still making more money. So you now understand that some of these things are not. That is why when you see some people, they cling to the tradition and that is one of the reasons why even for
back in the past,
you cannot blame even some
anything different.
Exactly. Even politically, some people cannot talk to their representatives in their constituency because it's a baba, it's a baba of somebody, it's a Iyaloja. When you just respect as a traditional person, you cannot bring the person to book. But here it's not the same thing. I call my boss by his name. Sometimes I can even see him in the morning. I can decide not to even tell him good morning. It doesn't affect my salary. You see, So these things are things that it affects us in every dimension. This traditional beliefs, culture, and everything. Do you know that in some places in Nigeria there is no development there because maybe a certain custom and tradition says nobody should explore that place.
And they just have to let them.
You cannot go to that place. You don't let that plot of land be there for eternity. No development, erosion with the place is just messed up because
said that the ancestors doesn't want bright light at night. So they can't have electricity.
You understand?
And anybody from that part will come around and say it's our culture. You need to respect because you know what will happen. Do you want us to you want bad things to be happening to us? Bad things are already happening.
Exactly.
In darkness, man.
Exactly. So if that is why, politically speaking, to change the dynamics in Nigeria, everything, it has to start from the grassroots. There are a lot of things a lot of stuff is hindering us backwards because there is this cultural. You can't. If you live in the UK, you see the way people talk about their monarchs. Some people, even when they see them on the street, the way they address them, it does not change anything because everybody has the right.
That's right.
To say I don't like this, I like this. But do you know that in Nigeria there are some traditional rulers you cannot even call them by their names. You will be lost. You demand them. You will see the end of the day. You can't ask questions. You can't say anything. The system must be built like that. That is why it has shifted from the monarchy system to the political regime now. That is why politicians can come out and do whatever they want. Nobody cares. Yes. So everything is kind of connected. It's a problem. You just take the instance of the examples I give. Why are we in Europe that still sleep in one room with our wives, go the same bedroom, sit on the same water system? We still take care of people who believe that they are cleaner than us, for example.
And anyone who has lived with a woman in this part of the world, right? As a man, we have so much that we can't even say outside that we have seen. Somehow, as a traditional man, you go to question us and say, until you begin to feel like that. Who cares?
You understand? Are we not still living? Are we not still living? Are we not still progressing? Are we not still taking of people? So you see, everything in life is just consciousness and think.
You see, I said something the other day. I said sometimes, it's not even sometimes, I think it's all the time, right? Where you live would help you to see the world rightly.
Exactly.
So if you are living in Nigeria and you move to another place, you would see the world differently.
Exactly.
And there is no way you will live in an environment like this, and you won't see rightly. Then you remember us coming from a place where we are so superstitious, right? So we have been in darkness for far too long that the way we see the world with our blindness, kind of. And it's reflecting. You will see people, they give you, they go to talk with confidence. Nonsense, with confidence. Because of where they are coming from. They will tell you, it's the same all over the world. Is that not the same all over? Is that not how they are doing it all over the world? Meanwhile, this is somebody who has never been to Togo. But he's been in a system that is so dark.
That is the problem we are. Even the changes we are trying to propel, like, we want Nigeria to change, everybody wants to go their way because the system is not working for anybody anymore as one Nigeria system. We that live abroad, we are the people that are feeling the pain. I will tell you, 98% of the people in Nigeria, even with what you just made announcement of about the 200 people, whatever they took from the IDP camp, these people don't have any sympathy. They don't even think as anything.
Just sit down and imagine 200 people disappearing and nobody's reacting. We're like, how is that possible to them?
The same country, you will see people today in the beer parlor, enjoying themselves. They don't have because there are people living in a container that there is no gaps for information for them to open their head. Because it is the few of us that live in diaspora that are feeling the pain, that are trying to change the system.
TikTok on everywhere now. Have you seen the information is still not reaching?
You see, it's very. I get some people that call you on your program from Nigeria. There are very few people. These are very few people. There are very few. I can tell you. Let me tell you. Maiyegun, let me give you an instance. Yeah. Do you know that an average Nigerian boy today, if he makes 30 million from whatever means he makes it, maybe he didn't stress himself, the first thing he will think of doing is to go and use 25 million out of that 30 million to buy a car. Don't you see the trend? Have you not seen the trend in Nigeria today? How can we? Do you know even in Mexico, even in all these El Salvador, these countries that are where you have this cartel, when they make those kind of money, even dubious, they invest. They invest to make sure they try to recycle that money to become clean money. They try to invest. They try to do things that people will maybe build hospitals, build schools, or you will see an average Nigerian who is even doing skits, for example, gets money. The first thing you want to go and buy a Rolls Royce. You don't see anyone investing. Okay, let me just open a kind of. It's more investment. It's more investment. Maybe I can employ 5 people. Let me see what goes out from there. No, everybody want to. It's a show off. Everybody want to be competitive because the system is so corrupt. A situation like that, a country like that, it's going to take time. It's going to take more work, power to change the mindset of the people. And the people that are speaking now, majority of the people like us, people in their 40s, 45, maybe some 35. After that 30 downwards in Nigeria, it's very difficult. Their state of mind is so like everything is money. I want to eat money.
The moment there is money on the table, then you can have a chat, you can have a conversation.
A lot. Nobody is thinking straight. People are doing things wrongly. For example, look, let me give you another instance. Look at now there's famine all over the place in Nigeria. Everybody is hungry. People are looking for food to eat. Maiyegun, you and I know that when most of us were growing up, our fathers, their compounds, they were cashew, mango, guava tree. You can bitter leaf. There are things you can easily, when the season comes, to eat from it in your father's compound. You know that an average Nigerian man today, if he build his house, it will be said because he want to make it beautiful. He will tie the whole 100 meters of the house. He will put floor tiles everywhere. Without no flower, they will even put an artificial carpet. No flower, no tree, nothing. But in Europe, don't you see these people have trees everywhere? There is a reason for that.
There is.
Nigeria in the south is so dusty when there is harmattan. It's so dusty. But do you know that when you have more trees, those dust will not just get to you like that because the tree will absorb them.
Some ecosystem whereby all those dust will have somewhere to. Oh dear, man, even clean air. So you see clean air, fresh.
So a lot of we see we are losing a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of going on. Nobody cares about anything. Everybody just working. But at the end of, if we don't change, my brother, we will fall. There's no you cannot be doing something that is it's not for you are not doing something that will make you progress. You are doing something that is like you're going backward. There's no way that you are not going to fail.
That's why we are preaching. That's why I continue to mention actions, inactions, consequences of actions, and taking responsibility for our actions. And I will never stop saying it because people need to understand the importance of this. Now, when you take responsibility for something, if you go wrong, right, and you take responsibility for it, if you are ashamed of what you have done, that alone will remind you not to repeat it. Next time something is tempting you to do that, and you remember what happened, and the responsibility you took of it, right, you will never want that to happen to you again. And with that, we can rid our society of, this mess, man.
My brother, I just, I'm doing my best. Please, thank you so much, and let's keep this lunchtime program, okay?
I know.
Thank you. Have a nice day, man.
Our afternoon is just for us, those people like yourself who can, delve in and add their own little, no rush, no pressure, and then as much as you take, okay? It is the evening one that is always rush stuff, right? And we will begin to say, another caller. Thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of the day, okay? And take it easy, sir.
You too. Nice one,
so I have another caller, stuff, and this is Windy City from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
I'm
Is it still morning
fine.
in because it's almost 4 p.m. in the UK right now.
I've been trying to use like 8 o'clock. It's 9:41 right now. Like 19 minutes to 10, like in the
It's
morning.
after 10 in the morning, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now you have me, sir, and we are all here.
Yeah.
There's something I don't even
Yeah, I
understand.
was.
I've got 60 or 70 people watching me on Facebook, which is understandable. Do you know how many people who are on this YouTube? Could you see them? The Windy City.
When I joined them, it was about 525 or something like that.
Right, because my record shows that it should be like about 600 or 700. We are like, I have a total of about 800 people watching, but I don't know where the rest are. Well, God bless them.
Hey, Onati Jenny, chop. Hey.
No, I'm not even talking about the people joining. I'm saying that my screen shows that I've got like 800 people, right? We're supposed to have 700 people on YouTube right now, but it's showing up that we have over 500. I'm like, I don't know where those ones are hiding, okay? But wherever they are blessed. Windy City.
Some people, yeah. So another thing is some people might not have the privilege to call, but they are watching.
Yeah.
So we just thank God for you, man. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Yesterday I couldn't get through. I was mad. I was mad with myself. I don't know why. I'm like, man, no.
It can be really annoying sometimes, but
especially when the topic was hard.
I know.
Oh my God.
I know.
When you are talking about those.
I have a dream. I have a dream.
Oh yeah.
Maiyegun Luther, General.
And
I mean General Luther
and the one and you see, let me just address today's topic. You see, the previous caller, he nailed everything. He kicked the ball to the park. The only problem we have in Nigeria, you see, there was a book that I read one time that described a human mind. It's more like when you in comparison to animals' mind, we have the same mind. The guy said there was they put 2 whales. Oh no, is it whales or sharks? They put them in a big water. Okay.
Right.
So they partitioned the water, the pond with heavy metal. Every time they swam to that metal, they hit the metal, they turn back. And they kept it for like a year or two. And finally, it's an experiment. And they took the metal off. Did you know when they swam to that point, they would turn around, even without the metal there?
Even when the metal was gone, right? So they have been programmed that way that they have become so used to that spot. I think I have seen this experiment before. They did it with an elephant.
Yeah. So you see, Nigeria, when I was growing up, it's a normal thing in my household. Like they have party and all my dad's friends, they come around, they be spending money, Me, I just want to drink Coke. I drink Coke to the point that the following day I'll be having diarrhea. So, now, before I left Nigeria, I had that mindset. In fact, I used to go to party and spend money too. But Maiyegun, if I am not artist now, if I'm in front of Wasiu or I'm the barista, you go yeah. Now, sing bang, like go get it from me.
Bro, you sure? You just don't.
The money I made from the snow, so the environment, okay, the environment.
Now I get what you mean now.
You would never.
I used to say, sir. See, I used to say to myself that because I kind of love listening to music a lot too, right? I used to say to myself, when I'm listening to Ayinde Kwanwan, I think that was the time I started drinking. Okay, so when I drink Star, and I'm having my Star there, and I'm listening to Ayinde, and he's singing all those songs, and I'm like,
yeah.
I will be telling my friends that if Baba, I know I never make up, but when I make up, Baba, I know if you give anybody that my money that way. I know if you do this.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I can't.
The same thing with churches. I only go to church once a year, and that's if I'm not working on the 31st of December. And I don't belong to any church. No. That's yeah. I don't know whether it's Passover. The New Year. I mean, a Passover. No, I'm like, what? Yeah.
Passover is to pass
So
we don't want to pass.
Before I used to drive like 15 miles to go to Adeboye's church in west side of Chicago.
Really?
Then something, something happened, and I was up. I was just looking at. There was okay. They preach, and there's our pastor, Pastor Bayo. He was very, very nice. He's a gentleman. He nailed it. But everybody, all the young men and women in that church, it's like competition. Okay, competition, and they be telling you, they be preaching what they don't practice. And there was a guy who is the band leader, or whatever they say is the son of Kraski Mono. I don't know who the hell is Rasky, anyway. So he's the band leader. Did you know that guy got two girls impregnated in the church? And these are the people that will stay on top of on the altar, whatever and be preaching.
With angelic voice.
Yes. So that with
voice, yeah, man.
Then I just like, what? I don't think I can do this anymore. So 31st of December,
you shouldn't, because of them, not go to the church again now. You know what they usually say when they want to gaslight you? You figure out that you don't belong to that assembly.
And you I.
Right? But they are likely.
You know what I will.
Go on, bro.
You know what I would tell that individual?
What?
If you find yourself in the midst of the lepers, don't remove yourself. Oh.
Stay there.
Adete. Just stay there so you can become one of them. People people try to justify unjustifiable. I don't condone. I mean, no. So, in case of Nigeria, they will have to, they will have to go back. They have to press a reset button. A reset button means even if you can call Sani Adi and Obia and everybody to play at the same time, that doesn't mean you should do it. Show a good example. Build a tennis court in your area. So when kids come from school, they can play around, they can do whatever. Instead of spending your money or whatever. Look at the election they just did. Somebody was saying, like, Wasil said, he will never leave Nigeria in as much Tinubu is in power. For somebody to say that, what is he doing? And those are the things that entice people. I want to be in power. People that are hungry, they will manage. Some of them I've never seen Wasil face to face, but because it's an open thing now, they just go to APC just to go and to see. So things, poverty. Yeah, poverty.
For them, you can sing for them, and everybody will
be like, poverty. The people that are ruling
and their problems, I know.
The people that are ruling Nigeria, they knew that poverty will make man or woman do anything. With our oppressors, they having a party, they block the road. Who does that? So until they press a reset, something in closing, something happened before I left England in 1996. I left in 96. In 94, 95, they made a law. I don't know if you know London very well.
Sir.
There's Euston Station.
Yes,
along King's Cross. That area from King's Cross all the way past Euston Station, at night, you will see girls by the road. All going towards Oloway Road, where they have female prison yard.
As prostitutes, yeah, or those who are like
prostitute night crawlers. We call them night crawlers. So they made this law. Let me tell you, they made the law. And I was like, they said, from now on, the police will arrest or pull you over if you pick somebody, if you pick a woman up, in that area. Everybody was saying like, listen, guess the first person they arrested. That's where I realized that, oh no, on this hill I will die. Nobody's above the law. I think he's the Chief Justice of the UK. I don't forget what they call him now. They pull him over.
He was the one caught.
He has to resign. Yeah, go and Google it. They caught him. He picked a prostitute. I was in England. I used to live in England, in London. And I was thinking, I once he get into the station, he say, I'm the judge. What you gonna do? I'll call the boys. Man, oh boy. The sentence him when he came out. I think he left England finally. I think he relocated to either America. I don't know, but I can guarantee you that will not happen in Nigeria. You see that we have a long way to go.
We do. Solicitation is what we call it in the UK now. If any girl come around, if you give any girl money for sex, you will be arrested. And if any girl comes around and say, can you give me something? You can have sex with me. It's called solicitation. So what they do now is called the escort. So you have to go online. You have to go and register with some escort companies. Or just go inside club and look for who is looking for sex. And you are looking for sex. If you offer anybody money for sex in the UK right now, you may go to jail. I've seen people arrested for it. So it all started from
So we have to start. We have to start from the scratch. I don't know who's going to do it because you have to show a good example. You have to be a role model. Yes. If you tell people you can't block the road to have a party, you shouldn't do it yourself.
You too shouldn't.
And there shouldn't be any sacred cow. Oh, it's my father, it's my father-in-law. I can't say no to him. Who the hell are you? So we have a long way, and we copy, especially Nigeria. I can speak of Nigeria. We copy the wrong thing from the West. I told you I was in Nigeria in August last year.
Yes, you were.
And me, I don't like Lagos that much. Too many people.
So where did you go to?
My friend, no, I was in Lagos. I was staying at Adeni Jones.
Okay.
I was staying. So we went to this club. My friend said, if you want to go there, go there. So they have good food, whatever, but you have to leave before the night people started coming in. I'm like, I don't like crowd. So on our way back home, I forgot the area. I saw a lot of guests hanging around. I'm like, what? My friend said, you want one of them? You want me to pick them? I said, what are they doing? He said, they are prostitutes. I'm like, what? Where do they learn that from? From the Western world. The Western world, they tried it, they realized it. This will destroy their society. They moved on. You do in the Western world now, you go to jail. But once they copy that in Nigeria. So Maiyegun, I don't know. At times I lose hope for Nigeria because when you look at the problem, have you ever been in a situation where you have a task? Not even a problem, just a task. And it's so humongous that you just say, I'm not doing this.
I know.
That's the way I look at Nigeria, that the problem is so much that...
Do you know why a lot of people feel overwhelmed by it, sir?
is that in that state, they also try their best to make sure that we don't have that culture of talking about it. You know that most of the time before now, talking about Nigeria is almost a taboo. Do you know? Like before now, like you know, if you decide to just embark on talking about Nigeria and all of that stuff, nobody is really interested. Fela did, he sang, he did all that. Nobody was really interested per se, right? But the more things are now getting out of hand, people are learning to talk about it now.
You know, last week, one caller was talking to you. I think it was one of these guys that went to school in Nigeria, that went to school with some well-known people, you know, in Abeokuta or Jebu and whatever, you know, and he was talking, and it was like, then he went there. He said, look at Bolagi. There's one guy called Adelakon. You see, if they have nipped it in the bud, Nigeria won't become what it is today. That particular Adelakon, that people think is not a good politician, because he wanted to become a commissioner for health and is illiterate. He lives in Lalukman and travel. Lalukman is like near Iwo, and he traveled that new road, Iwo to Ibadan. There's you know what they call sleeping policeman or something in London, where you have a bump on the road. They will call it sleeping policeman. They used to call it, maybe they rename it. Okay. That's what they call it in London, sleeping policeman or something like that. It's a bump.
I have no idea, but I do have an idea of what you described, sir. I have no idea.
There's a school after you passed a Greek Federal Ministry of Agri, one big yard. There's a school there for primary school and I think some secondary school. So they had that speed bump.
Right. Okay.
So to slow the cars down.
Speed bump, I think we call it traffic bump or speed bump here too. You get what I mean?
It's a speed bump. Yeah. But in England, they call it sleeping policemen. Sleeping policemen. I remember, unless they change it. Well, so anyway, so they had that thing to slow to reduce the speed of the car, whatever. Remember, Adelakun lives in Lalukman and he has to come through there. Did you know one day they just remove all those things? They just remove. He commanded them. Yeah. And guess what? Within 3 months, I think one boy girl ran over. Is our neighbor. And I'm like, when you know, so like when you do something like that.
Well, you just said now anyway. So I'm like, could anybody just be like, you know what? But Nigeria is a place where, because they are doing party, somebody will just close the entire road. Public road.
So who's gonna stop that kind of guy? If Bolagi did it and said, look, Mr. Man, you're not supposed to do that. We will excommunicate you from the parliament or whatever. Guess what they will say? They will say, yeah, but because Bolagi did that. Everything is out. They have to have a reason for something. They never see in a good way. You can go in the middle of the road in Nigeria and I say you want to pee. Everybody says, so go toss. That's not the issue.
That's what I meant by responsibility. Sir, yesterday I was talking about responsibility and people not taking them. Yeah, I bet you actually heard me then too, right? So I said that in Nigeria, where they blame devil, all you need, okay, to blame devil and escape is for just one or two people within the crowd to believe you. Once somebody says, if you know, this thing is not ordinary. What is doing this guy? What is wrong with it is not ordinary. That he did all
How are you allowed?
That's it. Another person will be like, hey, me too, I am looking. I mean, it's somebody I know. He will never do that. Something must be wrong. All it takes is just to say the devil. And two people believe in you. The rest of you will be in doubt. Oh, is it devil? They said it's devil. I don't believe it's devil. May we not fight these evil people. They can change anybody. They can turn anything around. They just wanted to disgrace her. That's why they made her to go and steal wig.
That's why they made her to go and steal money in that shop. It's because meanwhile she's a kleptomaniac, she's a thief who has been managing to hide it. Well, people have been able to excuse it for her, and she started believing that it must be that somebody is doing me. That's why I've been stealing things. They said it's somebody doing me. They said it's some evil, this or that. That's all it takes for them not to be responsible, sir. I spoke about that yesterday. So they find it difficult to.
How do we press a reset button and to correct all those things you just said? I doubt it. Well, who's going to start it?
Sure, we keep saying them as they are now. There are people who felt like it's all normal. You get, sir? Now, publicly, if children who are watching this, if their parents who don't want their children to become things that they have pretended to live with, if you want your children to actually be better than you, you must never teach them the idea of lying, excuses to escape from their responsibility or consequences of their actions. So when people begin to understand that, listen, let's tell ourselves the truth. Take responsibility so that you won't do that again. But if you are somebody who doesn't really want to change, but because you are caught, you are crying now, you call it the devil. You're looking for those who are going to agree with you on that. That lifestyle is a lifestyle that has destroyed Nigeria and Nigerians. So if you know you don't want to, you don't want that to continue, then take responsibility. We need to keep telling people to take responsibility, sir. We must not excuse people's failure and finger pointing. We must not encourage that, sir. And that's what we are doing now.
And those people that you always refer to as abroadian Nigeria, that being abroad, they be praising what is going on in Nigeria. You know why? You know what? You know why? Sir. You know why? Once it gets more change and they want to misbehave, and I've seen them drunk driving and everything, which they cannot do in America, you cannot do it in UK, but you can do in Nigeria. So that's why they oh God, Nigeria is good. Nigeria is not good. I told my friend, if you continue driving,
win this city. That is why we have done I have spoken on it a few times too, that if you see anybody living abroad telling you that Nigeria will be better, be patient. They are saying so, not because they love you. They actually are the open enemies that you should run away from if you are in Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
Because majority of them, what they are doing is they need to just make little money. The only place where they can do all illegalities and get away with it with small money
100%.
is Nigeria. And if all of you get better lives in Nigeria, you won't be the ones cleaning their cars. You won't be their errand boys and girls. You won't be the ones warming their bed with peanuts so that you think they are coming to change your life. You will have life. You will have standard. You are likely not going to even have time for them when they come back. And they don't want that. They need to feel big. That's why they are telling you to continue to defend your oppressors and wait for a day Nigeria will be better. Because Nigeria will never be better. And that's why some of them are working in America to come and brag and participate in that illegality. Sir, tell them more.
That's why when people go to Nigeria and they started doing last year, I'm like, listen, you can't do this where you come from.
They can sexually assault women with no consequences.
Oh yes.
They can assault underage girls. They can abuse. They can do all things and get away with it because they just came back now.
Oh yeah.
I just got back.
My friend was like, 19 years old girl. I said, my daughter just turned 20. I said, what am I going to do? He said, no, they are on an app. I said, so you pick. I said, that's positive. Mama will be, don't look at that side.
This is Nigeria. America is where they always. That's why you need to be coming home very often. That your America is prison. Come to Nigeria and enjoy enjoy your life.
God will continue to bless you. God will continue to give you wisdom upon wisdom upon wisdom.
Amen,
on this note, let me leave.
Thank you so much. In this city, enjoy the rest of your morning.
Thank you very much. You too now. Bye-bye.
Nice one, sir. That's a windy city. See, me, I have seen things and I have witnessed things. Sometimes when I look back and I'm like, I can't live in Nigeria anymore. because I would probably be an easy target for that rotting system, because you will get to see easily that, why that? Why this? I will question everything. And I promise you, majority of what our people come back to Nigeria to do is only in Nigeria they can do that. It is only in Nigeria. The way they treat you, the way they do things, not all of them. Oh, we've got lovely people. I've got, I know lovely people who have been very nice and very, very helpful to some of you in Nigeria. Okay? But in the long run, they are just pretty much like those that Nigeria, the failed leadership in Nigeria have managed to place a little bit above you, unfortunately. Okay? And therefore, they have the chance of taking advantage of that. I could take, if I come to Nigeria now, they will probably, I was there, sure you get. So it was more, I'm not flirtatious. I don't like women much that way, right? Like, seriously, right? So, but I have a chance, I'm Maiyegun now. I have a chance to some of them, they're like, you are Maiyegun now. You could do whatever, but I'm not like that. But it's a place where people have already given us that, that privilege. Your economy has given us that privilege. And there are those who abuses it, take advantage of that, abuse you, chance you, and other things like that. And they do so with no consequences, nothing. Nothing will happen. And that's exactly how your oppressors are too. So when you see some of these Abrodian Abobakus, they know that the only place where they can actually carry out illegality without consequences is Nigeria. That's why they will tell you, Nigeria is the best place to go to if you want to go and enjoy your money. They say it here too. Everybody says it here. People are surviving, selling their bodies because the country turned it into that. Sex is meant to be enjoyed by all parties, Abi. But when you begin to have to survive on sex, you can no longer turn around and be like, are there no people who are doing? No, there are no people who are doing that here. You can't sell your body just because you want to feed. When it comes about, lots of sex. People have lots of sex here. I mean, I used to have friends and the rest of that we actually have, good times on our own dedicated time like that. Sex is pretty much like, normal. When you begin to go and begin to sleep with this, sleep with that, because you need to pay your school fees, you need to feed yourselves, you need to pay this, pay for that. That's what Nigeria has become. There are those that as cheap as sex is in the UK here, like as I'm not saying cheap, but like you could have as many sex as you want with as many people as you want at whatever time you want and the rest of that. But that doesn't mean that you can pick it up on the street. It's not even that simple. But there are those that no, they will never, they don't even look forward to any woman, anybody, anywhere. They just walk. January to October, they will buy tickets. They are going to Nigeria from November to January, where they can easily flex and get away with all kinds of things. These are part of the abnormalities that a rotten system, sort of forced on you. And indeed, there are those who take advantage of that. And if you are watching me, you never see it as anything bad. I'm not trying to judge you. Here you get. I am just saying that if to say Nigeria is like where we live, majority of the people that you are going to take advantage of in that country, they would be having their own lives. You can't take advantage of them the way the system currently allows you to. Sure you get. So when people have their lives and they have things going for them and they are not looking to, they're not looking forward to somebody who is going to come and help them pay their rent or pay their this or that. Or how many people they have to like fuck before they kind of feed themselves or send their children to school. Okay. Or pay for their medicals and the rest of that. If the system allowed them to hand their own pay like properly, I'm talking about the chunk of 3 people. You won't have to leave UK and begin to sound like, somebody will come save and rescue people. So when you look at them, they are abroad. I am abroad. I am an Osler. I'm somebody who is just doing his own thing in his own way, in my own little way, right? However, I'm not rich, I'm not poor. Sure you get. But there are those who are here, okay, whose agenda and the rest of that is let Nigeria be as it is. And they are claiming to be patriotic Nigerians living abroad. They are here, they will never live in Nigeria. Okay? They won't. Their families will never come back to that place. And they can see all of your oppressors, your punishers. And according to them, you just need to endure. So the more they destroy your economy, the more advantage some of these predators have. So they come after you, they come after your children. People are offering it, it's a sorry case. And it's actually like a personal thing as well. The moment that was mentioned. So that people live abroad and they tell you to endure doesn't mean they like you. They do not like you. They have an advantage over you. A work in Nigeria would not give them that advantage. So I said that my car is 34,000 pounds. Imagine if you can buy the same car in Nigeria for 34,000 naira. Why not? Why not? Imagine I am driving a 34,000 pounds car. You are driving a 34,000 naira car. Brand new, 2024. Show somebody will not pass a driver license in the UK. We now come to Nigeria and begin to want to ask you to come and become their bag carrier or the one who is washing a car for them. Would you leave your work and begin to become what for somebody who just came back from the UK? Of course you won't. No, you won't. You will either be the one who is even hosting them. Majority of them, you won't be the one that is their tour guide here and there. Not like that. Because majority of you are doing so because of what you are likely going to get from them. And they know that. So the economy has placed them in an advantageous position over you. So if Nigeria will remain like that, it is to their own advantage, not to yours. So when you see somebody abroad telling you that they love Nigeria from abroad, they are lying to you. Maiyegun, you see, thank you, Jare and Timmy. You say somebody will be like, Auntie, thank you, Jare. See, this is somebody who is living in the UK, who is telling us now that NHS is a problem. There are poor people, homeless people. There is there is inflation. There is clinical price. Somebody who lives in the UK is saying that to you. And you are saying, I wish that Maiyegun can come and listen to you now. That Maiyegun is always making it look like Nigeria is the problem. See what I am hearing about UK now. That person that is telling you about UK is your enemy. Telling you about everything bad in the UK. Ask that person to return back to that your Nigeria. They will never pray to be sent back to that Nigeria. But they want you. They want you to believe that the shit hole that they have created in that place, it will soon be better. Stay there. So that from their own dinghy, one man came to my house, a big man from Nigeria, when I was doing that Green Party. Sure you get. So this big man, me, I am the Maiyegun that is noisemaker. So I started a political party. In that political party, so I was giving people in Nigeria, so that you see that one is like, what are you saying, Maiyegun? Yes, I started a political party in Nigeria, where I thought that the people that are the victims of the rotten system, they should gain access to the system and own the power, okay, and free themselves. Now, before you can become a candidate of their parties in Nigeria, you have to bribe a lot of people. Party chairman, party this, party that. So you need to pay them bribe. But me, I started a party that is, what do you call it? That is for the poor. You do not bribe anybody. Do you want to contest for House of Assembly? Oh yeah, come here, pick up the form. We will pay for all of your clearance and the rest of that. And we did. So there was this person who wanted to be House of Rep member. So everybody in Nigeria, those who want to be senator, Those who wants to be this or that. Everybody is mentioning Maiyegun. So Maiyegun, who is the Maiyegun? They say Maiyegun is the leader. Where is the Maiyegun? The Maiyegun is in the UK. How can the leader of your party be in the UK, sir? He's in the UK. Oh. So this person was like, okay, I want to see who is that your leader before I can join, and then I can believe that we can win. Big man. So he now came to the UK, called me. Oh, this person would like to meet you. He's coming to the UK because of that. He wants to have a meeting, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, he doesn't have to come and see me. No, he said he wants to see you before he can. Okay. All right, then let him come. So I called my friends. Then I didn't have car. I couldn't drive because I didn't have car then. So I was like riding my bicycle. So I called my friend who had a car. I said, I called two of them. I said, I'm expecting a guy. He's a Nigerian politician. Okay. But I would like a few guys there to come around and let us go and pick him up. So we jumped into the two cars and we drove straight to the Glasgow airport and we picked him up. One, my friends are just like normal people. Okay. So I was the one who dragged them into it. This guy came out of the airport looking like this homeless junkie that dresses like, I don't even know how to describe him, right? But I didn't kind of see it. I was like, why is it, he wore this jacket that looked like, typical Nigeria. I think he just picked all those things up. And when he wore them, it was like that with big belly and all that. This guy he came here to come and size me, That's why I'm talking like that. Too. You should know that he got me angry. That's why I'm talking like that. Because later I was like, look at this one that looks like a junkie. A big man, rich man, probably he has so much money. But they said the boy who is the leader of the parties in the UK. So he came here to come and size me that everybody is talking about. A lot of people are talking about that badero. And this one is bad. And these are people who are like rich guys too. They want to contest election. And they could probably make some changes then, unfortunately. This guy came. And I said, okay, let's go and drop me at my house, in my flat. I live in a 2-bedroom flat, right? Myself, my partner, and my son. We're 3. So this guy came. I said, oh, tidy up everywhere. They tidied up everywhere. Everywhere looked nice and all of that stuff. And he came in. All through, the guy was just looking at me. He was sizing me. He was sizing me like, shit, now their leader be this. So now this is going to be their leader. So this is the Badero. So this is the Maiyegun. The one that is living. See where he's living. He was looking me. I could tell. This guy was looking so down on me. But he's an elderly person. Sure you get. But I was pretty much like I was explaining. He was asking me questions about this. I was explaining. But he was like, he wasn't really convinced. Like, look at this one. This one that is living in a council flat. That's how he saw me. He said, I was living in a council flat. So he returned back to Nigeria. So when he got back there as a big man, kind of flexed his muscle around. And a lot of people was like, did you show this to him when you saw him? All these things you are telling us, did you show it to him? And I was like, not really, but did you notice if he noticed anything at all? That was me. They were asking him that, did he notice that I noticed of his demeanor and all that? And he was like, not really, but does it really matter? So I went to Nigeria a few months after that. Okay. And it was because of my mom's death. While I was in Nigeria, so this guy came. They haven't done the elections 2019. Oh. So they now sort of, when I got to Nigeria, I now told them, I said, I do not want to meet that man. I do not want to talk to him. And he must never come anywhere closer to wherever I am. I am in Nigeria now. And I can tell you this. The last time he came to my house, it didn't take him long for him to show that this one is just looking for a vehicle that he would need to kind of join his elite friends before he would call our bluff. So this guy came to my hotel. He came to my hotel, and like I said, it's an elderly person. So he was kind of like trying out that again. I was talking. Maiyegun sorrow. People were there listening, and we're like, everybody have spoken, and I'm now talking. This old man just interrupted me and said, "It's all this idea kind of our Momo Spark is straight up, Ben, like Mo Spark, Timothy Min Lati Glasgow." Cut the long story short, they actually had to make him, because I lost it. I lost it completely. Like Abulori Brukuniani. He was initially trying to say, I'm old enough to be your father. I said, you know me now. Like I para enough that they actually had to take him away, take him out of the entire hotel. And they brought him back later to come and apologize to me. And eventually he apologized and said he's sorry that indeed he sort of really, really looked down on me. He never knew that I was actually that person that controls so much, that has so much command among people who are actually like independent people, that have so much command of respect among them. That I was wondering, how did I manage to get such respect? I said, you are a typical Nigerian, by the way, the typical Nigerian, rich man. You came into my space, you have no idea of who I am. You have no idea of what I am capable of. You came into my space and you sized me based on your typical Nigerian mentality, which is, I should appear like somebody who is so rich and all of that stuff so that at least I can fit in. Here you get. So to them, it's all about that material. It's all about that, and they couldn't really, believe it. That there are people that could live their lives normally. Here you get now. Live their lives normally, enough that contented enough as well, and still make meaningful impact on lives. So today, the people who live abroad, who wants to kind of, who keeps maintaining or keeps supporting the trashy shito that these guys have created in that place, they are not doing so because they love Nigeria, okay? And to those who are saying they want to rescue or save that place too, they are not doing so because they love the place. Majority are doing so because Nigeria is a turn-by-turn Nigeria Limited, okay? It's a place where money rules, where people have nothing. I'm talking about people are so poor. Nigerians are so poor that all they have is money. Apart from money, they've got nothing. Absolute nothing. No standard, no class, no, you know what I mean? It's about, that's why majority just want to have that money. They just want to make that money. I need to make that money so that people can respect me. You are so poor. Your leaders are so poor that all you have is money. Now go get ready for the evening. Thank you very much for sharing your afternoon with me. The callers, the commenters, and the rest of them. So I will see you later. Thank you. And God bless. Remember, you can still share the broadcast if you haven't already. Like it if you haven't. And join me later this evening. Good afternoon.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one. Bó sì tún ṣeré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary Naibi number one.
Maiyegun diary politico.
Maiyegun diary Naibi number one.
godfather Resign kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary Naibi number one.
ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary Naibi number one.
àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Maiyegun diary Naibi number one.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o
ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.